Hello? Yes, we're here again. It's Wednesday and it's past 8 o'clock. And welcome, Delboy, again.
Hello.
Um, yeah. So, as I always ask, what have you been watching this week? Yeah,
You always ask that, don't you?
I wonder
Uh,
why.
and I must admit, it's been a bit busy this week, but I've been watching mostly old historic stuff. But I've got a few things here that are not historic. I don't know if I showed them last time. I think I showed this one last time, so I'll put it to one side. Let me turn the background off.
It's a good background, that, yeah.
There we go. And I bought this late last week because I like my boxing. I don't know if I mentioned this, um, but Big George Foreman. It's sort of like the story of George Foreman instead of
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, which is
Yeah.
what they usually do. And I was a big fan of the Ali film, even, but I always thought to myself, it ends abruptly because it ends at the at George Foreman's fight. You know what I mean? It doesn't
Right,
go any
yeah.
further. And of course, Ali, back in his day, won the title for a third time. You know, he's the only person I think at that particular point in time that had ever done
Mm.
that. Um, this one ends with George Foreman winning it for the second time. But it also goes through his bankruptcy, his investments in the George Foreman lean, mean, fat busting machine, and all of that sort of stuff. It goes
Mm.
into him being a preacher, finding God, and then forgiving Muhammad Ali. And it even mentions at the end that they phoned each other every day all the way up until his death.
Oh.
I like
Mm.
biographical stories. This one is sort of like a saccharine version where Ali is more accurate, you know, about him not
Mm.
joining the army and all of the stuff that he went through and all of that sort of stuff. But they sort of pair themselves up together. Now, this is an old film that I bought cheap. It's called St. Vincent. Bill
Yeah.
Murray. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this film. It's one that's not sugar intensive. Do you know what I mean? Where it's over the
Mm.
top love and all of this sort of stuff. Bill Murray
Yeah.
is not a nice person, you know. I mean, he cons everybody, you know,
Yeah.
uh, and he basically gets money from the person who's just moved in next door because he blames her for damaging the tree that was outside his
Uh,
house. The tree's not even owned by him, you know, but she doesn't even
mm.
check all of this out. You know, she just wants a babysitter for her son while she goes off and tries to earn money. So he
Yeah. Yeah.
capitalizes that, takes the lad to the racetrack and all sorts of stuff. Um, a nice film, a film where Bill Murray, I think, didn't dial it in. You know what I mean? He didn't dial in his performance, which he
Yeah.
does with the later Ghostbuster films. Do you know what I mean? So that was a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And of course, my Quiet Place Day One came through, which I
Excellent.
know that
Yeah.
Muckman Movies isn't a fan of the steelbook design. And I have to say, when you consider what the steelbook looked like for the first film, all of the subsequent steelbooks have never looked as nice. But
Right. Yeah.
it's not, to me, it's not about that. It's about it being a steelbook and for it to be with my other steelbooks.
Yeah.
Therefore, I've got, you know,
Mm.
all three quiet place films. Do you see what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I just because I don't like the design, I wouldn't have two steel books and one normal 4K
Yeah.
box to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it all depends on how you are as a collector. There was another film actually. I must have forgot to pick it up. Hang on. Oh yeah. This isn't anything new. But finally from the States, my Steelbook of the Blob came through,
Oh, right. Ah,
which is
right.
the
Oh,
which is the
good.
remake, you know. But I mean, so
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
I'd already got the 4K of this,
Yeah.
but I wanted that Steelbook for a long time, and it finally came through. So that was nice. Um, so what have I been watching? So I've been watching mostly Elizabeth the First stuff. There are two films of Elizabeth the First. There's the Golden Age, which is the second film, and there's Elizabeth the First, which is the first one with Kate Blanchard. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so altogether, the films are about 4 hours long, because each film's about
Yeah.
4 hours long, and
Yeah.
it's just a nice film to watch. I get a lot of history thrown at me in a very short period of time, and then it's nice to watch something which I have been watching as well, which is The Tudors,
Of
which
course.
is
Yeah.
a 4-season TV
Yeah.
show, which again is very taking liberties with history, showing lots of sex and debauchery and all of that sort of stuff, which you knew would have been going on. But there's some really good scenes in there. I mean, they've just chopped off the head of, I think it's the Duke of, what was it, the Duke of Gloucestershire or something. He didn't get on with him anyway. He chopped off his head bloody early.
Yeah.
I know that much.
Yeah.
The Pope's just died, and of course, they want he wants to be an English Pope, and that's not going to happen.
No. No.
It won't. I think at the end of season 1, his head's chopped off.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of. So at the moment, the king is having lots and lots of affairs, and I think.
Have we got to Anne Boleyn yet?
That's what I mean. It's just got to Anne Boleyn. He'd actually bedded his sister.
Oh, crikey.
Anne Boleyn's sister first, but she fell out of favour, and so Anne Boleyn then suddenly steps in, and he falls head and heels over her. So that's quite that's just about the 3rd or 4th episode of 10 of the 1st season.
Oh, there's plenty to keep you going there.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I'd like to see some new films. I'd like to go to the pictures, but my health condition is not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So I'm continuing to watch lots of YouTube videos of all my friends. I mention those all in my blog. I mention them for your channel. Euphoria Pictures, Mondo.
Yeah.
All of those, because they're the things that keep me going when I can't go out and do the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
So, I thank them really, probably far too much than I should, but it's probably comes across like saccharine sweet. But the reason for it is that I really do need to thank them, because without them, I would have nothing to watch, because at the moment, I can't go out. I'm waiting for my other heart procedure. So,
yeah.
So, what have you been watching? I haven't been listening to much other than soundtracks, by the way. Of the
let's see. I've been watching. I watched this one. It's called All Coppers Are. It is a network release. So, hello, Jim.
You know about this? He's probably got it.
This is from 1972. It's got Julie Foster in it. There's another face that pops up. He always seemed to be in those films, was Robin Asquith, the Confessions bloke, and he always pops up in it. And I'll tell you what always makes me laugh in this period. He shouldn't really make me laugh, but it's Ian Hendry. He always pops up in this gangster role.
Oh, he does.
He has about 2 or 3 scenes, and that's it. Because apparently he was a real bad problem with alcohol, I think, to get him to do the lines and everything. But they always managed to get him do about 2 or 3 scenes playing the same role as the big boss gangster. But sorry, just at the door. Just hold on. Oh, all right.
Oh, while he's at the door,
right.
While he's at the door, I'll just explain. The other film I watched was Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson, which is a sci-fi film with her going around Scotland, seeming to be killing all sorts of blokes. And I just want to say hello to Steve, because he's just come in, and he'll always turn around and say, "Bloody hell, I've been here an hour and you haven't got around to the comments yet." So I thought, well, I better say hello to him, hadn't I? But carry on with Ian Hendry. Ian Hendry, he's a right old drunkard.
He always, but in real life, I think he had problems with his lines. But he always plays like a gangster boss kind of character. That's it. You don't have to move around too much. You can just sitting down and what have you.
Yeah.
But it was a serious problem apparently for him. Anyhow, I think he probably died in, I don't know, mid-70s or even earlier when these films were made.
Oh, yeah, I think it was late 70s.
Was
I'm
it
not
late
sure.
70s? I know
think
he
it
had a
was.
serious problem, alcohol problem. There's this film as well I watched, which was called I Start Counting. This is a
Bloody hell,
really
I've been
interesting
watching
film.
some. Wow, these
This
all
is
sound.
Jenny Agutter in this. It's before Railway Children.
Well, I was going to say
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
watching some obscure stuff. I haven't heard of half of these. Go on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This, Tony sent some of these films. He knows that I like this sort of period of films. But this is interesting. So it's year before Railway Children, and she's really good in it. She's always had something about her in terms of her acting. She's very young in this. But it's a film where she thinks a foster brother could be a serial killer, and she's trying to, and it works out really. It's a great story. Absolutely loved it. So that one.
Can I set a challenge for you?
Yeah.
Can you watch everything that Tony York gave you 2 weeks ago in that box so that you don't have to keep mentioning it for the next 6 months?
No, I don't.
What
think
films
I
that you've
have
been
watched
watching
some. I
that he's
won't
given you?
mention them all. So
Right.
you're safe. But
I am trying to make you laugh, but I think you're going to be saying, "Oh, well, Tony gave me this and Tony gave me that," and I'm going to be going, "What a bastard!"
Now, here we are. You're a funny one.
Go on.
Right. Okay. So we've got here now 2 films.
Don't get me wrong. Right, here we go. 2 films. They come from Tony, did they? Come on.
How did you get that? But they've got one thing very much in common, that they have got Peter Cushing, who Peter Cushing is probably my favourite actor in. And well, what can I say? We've got Island of Terror.
Yeah.
And then we've got here The Blood Beast Terror. You must love these titles. So Blood Beast Terror is 1968. This one's 1966. They're all wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
And they're all the more wonderful because my friend Tony sent them to me in a big box of shit that basically I got 2 weeks ago.
What makes these great, despite everything, is they're not Hammer as well. But they have that sort of feel of Hammer of that period.
Yeah, are they by Amicus?
No, Tygon.
Tiger, yeah, they're those Witchfinder General ones, aren't they? And all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. It's just, you give Peter Cushing a script, and it can be. The film can be really bad effects because it's cheap budget, but he always makes a film look much better than it should be. Just
I bought the Sorcerers, which is under Tiger.
Oh, the Sorcerers,
and of course Mondo Chelovich did a top 10 of those about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He might have actually have mentioned one of those that you've got there.
But these are very good, absolutely wonderful. And I think that's it. I'll always pop it in, but even though you might not, but I'm putting music. You're safe this week. There's no music, so you're all right.
No, it's just a load of shit. Just a load of shit from Tony that you keep bloody mentioning.
No, this isn't. Look what this is. This is
Invasion of the
Dinosaurs. Third Doctor. Absolutely love this story. It's just so good, even though it's got a really bad reputation because they always say, "Look at them awful special effects. Look at those dinosaurs, aren't they awful?" But it's still a great story. Absolutely love it, and I don't care that people say it's bad special effects, and all
Did
that.
that,
But it's a great
did that,
story.
did that particular edition have both the black and white and the colorized version on there?
Yeah, there's 2 discs. Yeah, you can see the colorized version on this one.
Yeah.
2 disc set. I'd be
'Cause
interested to see
that's
this.
that's an early release, so I think they recolorized the first one. I'm not sure.
I was going to say, it'll be interesting to see what this is going to look like when Blu-ray comes out.
Yeah,
This hasn't come out yet, so hopefully
I think that's what they're doing. They're recolorizing.
hopefully it's going to be a really good conversion, probably
Yeah.
best we've ever had.
Yeah, because it's an okayish color, but it was one of the ones where they used dot technology. In other words, they used the negative, which is quite blurry, and then used a color card that's above the image, and then guess the colors. And it's one of the early types of colorization, and of course, based on that, things are a little bit murky. You know, browns are a bit muddy. You know what I mean? Compared to some of the other colorizations that they've done. But of course, I don't care because they give you the black and white one and they give you the color one. So you've got a choice, haven't you? So
I think this is a sort of, because of the sort of surrounding about the black and white color episode, it's kind of obscured how good a story this is. I really think it's a great story. You know, I really enjoy it. The idea that they're going to go back to the golden age of the planet, how it was, and you've got Mike Yates being a traitor. I love it. You know, he's got involved with this group, and what more can you say? It's a wonderful story. So I love it. And Third Doctor's in great form as always. And Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane's great as well. So that's what I've watched, really, despite all the usual comments.
So 95% Tony York shit and 5% of your own stuff. That what you're telling me? Right, okay.
Yeah, I know what you was.
Tony York knows I'm only jesting. I'm only jesting with Tony. He knows full well.
You're gonna go on and on for weeks because
you keep on and on about what Tony York sent you. What am I supposed to do?
Say, look at this film. Yeah, I'm trying to educate you, lad, so you can see.
Well, you're trying to educate me on just how loved you are and how shit I am. Yeah.
There are some good films that I don't know about, lad. You know, you need to know. You know, right?
I know about them. I watched them as a kiddie. Those horror.
That's good. Isn't that good?
I must admit, I didn't know about the cop ones. You know, the ones that were at the beginning, the network ones. No, I didn't know about those.
There's some good. They acquired some good films. Network did, Anyhow, let's get on with comments. So we've got the first one. You always say it. There it is. We have got Mondo Chelovek movies. We've got John. Hello, John. Welcome. So, been to see Speak No Evil today. Amazing film. James McAvoy is great. Have a good stream. And that's.
I've heard of Speak No Evil.
A psycho, isn't he? In this.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of Speak No Evil, and I mean James McAvoy. Yeah, of course, he's a great actor. I mean, and then again, he could be in a stinker of a film. It's nice to know that there's a person that's gone to see it and has come back saying, "Oh, it's a glowing performance."
I can't wait to see that. It looks good. Definitely, from what reaction's been positive. At least nobody's mentioned Joker yet. Please don't. More Joker. I'm almost put a ban on. Please don't talk about the Joker.
No, it's Ask Us Anything. But I must admit, it's bound sure to happen. It is the film talk of the moment.
I know. I've it's just got so bad everywhere I go. I keep seeing it, but it's calmed down a little bit now. Anyhow, we have got next We've got Tony. Hey, hello, Tony. So, evening, Ian and Del. Heard some negative things about first
Yeah, that's
place
quiet.
day
That's
one.
quiet. That's quiet.
Quiet Place. Watched the Tudors a year or two ago. Enjoyable. Day
Yeah.
one.
I mean, a Quiet Place day one is probably the weaker of the three, but it's still a good film.
Yeah,
You see what I mean? It's the very fact that it's the beginning of seeing these creatures arrive.
Yeah.
So it should be more exciting than it turned out to be. Do you see what I mean? Because the other two films are after the fact.
Yeah, that's right.
So this should be the, oh my God, who are they? What are they? What's
I
all
think
this going on?
it's the characters. We've got to get to know the
Yeah,
characters.
that's right.
That takes.
And what I've got to say about it is that it turns out to be really more about cheap deaths, because you don't know that you've got to be quiet. There's all these cheap deaths where somebody will come up and go, don't say anything, and then they're dead. You know what I mean? A truck hits them.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? And you're going, well, that's a cheap death. And of course, he said something, and that's why he died. And how many times are you going to do that joke before it turns into a right farce?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's too many of these cheap deaths. And that's what sort of, like, to me, is the negative side of it.
Yeah.
There are more negatives than that. But what I'm trying to say is, as much as there are negatives, it's head and shoulders above some of the other films that have been out this year.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't think it is as good as the other films, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. It's one of those ones where I go, do you know what? It's not as bad as what people were saying, and it has got cheap deaths, but it's head and shoulders above some shit I'd watched this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My only thing is, I wondered whether the fact that she has a terminal illness affected the script in some ways of how they were going to do it. What we get, I don't know. I can see they put it in as like an added dimension, but I don't know.
I'll tell you what, the one thing I did notice this week, and this is just going off candor a little bit, is that France has put a ban on Terrifier 3 in France. And stopping people from watching it that are under 18, and it's all over the news on social media saying this little known ban has not been in effect for 20 years and has been just put in place by the French government for the film Terrifier 3 because of the vomit-inducing effects that are in this film, right? No. And I just thought to myself, oh, there's the publicity starting then for this, because that would make everybody go and want to see that.
Surely that's a bit of. I mean, you can't ban a film nowadays.
Yeah. So basically, when you read the article, what it's actually saying is, instead of getting an 18, it's got an 18R, which has never been used.
Oh, is that what they're trying to say?
Right. But if you'd have read the headline, it says France induce a ban that has not been used in 20 years on horrific horror film. That's what it actually says.
Rubbish. It's rubbish story.
And it just made me laugh.
It's mind you, if you're the publicity people, as you say, you can stick that on the poster or what have you. You can say banned or what have you. You could really generate the publicity. So it's ideal for them.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That was a little fun fact anyway.
And then we've got Steve's Gaming saying, "Hello, you old buggers."
Hello, you old git.
Very much.
You bastard. All right, there you go. Yeah, you want to see what he's done today? I sent a text message to him today saying, "Thanks, buddy, for all the game suggestions. Can you give me a game for tomorrow, please?" And he says, "I'll give you 2. The 2 that he's given me, equally as bad as each other, fucking terrible games that I'm going to die every 10 seconds on." And he says, "Here you go, mate. I really like you. Here's the 2 games that I'm suggesting for you." What a bastard. You think you know people, right? You think you know people, but no.
Yeah. Oh, well.
There I was thinking, oh, he's going to give me a nice game because I've been saying, hello, Steve, you're a great bloke and everything. What does he do? Gives me two of the shittiest, crappiest, worst inducing games that you could ever get. And he says, and he has the gall to say, I'm giving you a choice of two. That's like saying you've got a choice of chopping your left finger off or your right finger off. That's what he's given me the choice of doing. Thanks very much. No, I'm only joking with you, but yeah. Right, bastard.
Right, we've got Tony's. Oh, Quiet Place. Yeah, that's it.
Quiet Place. Yeah.
It's typing. Stephen Mill says, Ian and Delboy, have any of you seen Bloody Birthday about killer kids? Bloody Birthday?
That's an old one, isn't it? That's an old 80s.
I can't remember it.
That came out before Bloody Valentine, I think.
Is it? Oh, right.
I'm picturing a picture of a cake on the box.
Has it just had a release or something?
No, it's just that I remember it because when I was looking for my Bloody Valentine, and I was trying to remember how many films started Bloody something or other.
Oh, right.
Right. I think Bloody Birthday came up, and I think it's the same year. But I don't think I haven't seen it.
I've looked it up.
I have not seen it. I'm just
1981.
Oh, it's 1981. Is it? There you are. So I was right. Early 80s. Yeah, there you go. And what I'm saying is,
and
it's got a birthday cake. There you go.
Yes, there you are.
And but I have not seen it. So
no, I haven't.
Have you seen it?
No, I've not seen it. No. No. Well, no, I haven't seen it. But there we are. Killer Kids.
I should think everybody's excited for next week getting the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K. I should think.
Oh yeah, that's the 4K. Yeah.
I should think that's going to be talked about an awful lot at the end of this week. I should think.
Yeah. I'm sure it will be. There'll be non-stop. There'll be special videos examining every pixel.
What's the picture like? Do you think the artwork's good? It'll all be.
It'll be. Oh.
And to me, it's all about the film. To be quite honest,
exactly. I'll be honest. I don't watch them if I know they're going to go into all that. I'm not watching it.
I'd like more people. I don't mind talking about the picture. I don't mind talking about the sound. I'd like more people to talk about the film.
Yeah, so would I. Yeah.
As much as some people will say, "Oh, I really like A Nightmare on Elm Street" or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody ever turns around and says why they like it.
Yeah.
It's the first one.
Yeah.
Right? Is there something about it? Is it about the characters in it? Is it about the story? Is it about the direction? Is it about the, this is where I'm saying I like certain people's reviews at the moment where they go a little bit more comprehensive. But a lot of people, when they do a review of a film, are just now talking about, oh, it's just come out. It's an old film. I've seen it again. I liked it. The picture's great, the sound's great, the packaging's great, and that's the end. And I'm going, I learned nothing about what that film's about.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard nothing about what films it was up against when it came out.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing about what was unique about that film and why it did well.
Yeah. Why did it become a franchise?
Where is all of that background information?
Yeah.
It's all about, the picture's great. It's got a bit of grain. The Dolby soundtrack's brilliant. And I'm going, when that film came out in 1984, what other horror films was it against? Did it do really well? Did it do better on sell-through when it came out as a rental?
Yeah.
I want to know all that.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it.
And I think you could I think there is a point of discussion. Not everybody would agree with me, but in terms of those sort of franchises, I think it's one of the weaker ones. You've got a brilliant start. Yeah. The first one is absolutely brilliant, but the third one is perhaps for me, a good one. But I don't think it's very. I'm not really that interested in the others. I've watched them.
Interesting concept, isn't it? That you've got a nightmare, and if you die in your nightmare, you're dead in real life. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
It's nice to add an urban legend to it. This bloke was real, and he did all this and all of that sort of stuff. I think all of that is great.
Yeah.
But when it comes to what else is unique about it, we've seen slashers and gore and all of that.
What it is, it doesn't seem to, as a franchise, establish itself with the same sort of feel as like Halloween has a certain feel to it, and all, even the good bad ones. Friday the 13th, the same. There's a feel about the films. I don't think there is in the Freddy ones. I think after number 3, just you don't feel anything. And the second one is not a good. I don't think it's a very good sequel.
Isn't that the reason why the third one got so much media attention, because they upped the game because the second one did so bad?
Yeah, I think you're right on that. Yeah, the third one is so much better, it seems to me. But then you could argue, well, they were trying different things with some of it, but it just doesn't seem to work the same way, I don't think. But there are people who do really like the franchise a lot, so I'm not going to knock them for liking it. You know, if you like it, that's good. But that's just me personally. That's
like I said, I can't. I'm thinking back to 1984, and I'm thinking, what was it up against when it came out at the cinema? I'm not quite sure.
No.
The other thing is what turned it into the film that it became, you know, as an IP for Warner. I think it's Warner. And for the life of me, I think it might well be that it did okay at the cinema, but it did terrific when it came rental.
Yes, that was an important part, the rental market, wasn't it? And of course, there's all these other Halloween, Friday the 13th series of films going on. It's interesting how it's seen and the fans compare films. I mean, I think the first one, it is a very strong first film. It's outstanding first film. But it's just, I feel it was difficult to follow that up somehow. They just weren't able to do it in the same way as the others were. But anyhow.
So we'll move on from that. But you get my meaning. I'd like more discussion about the actual film.
Yes,
I've just bought this. It's cost me 40 quid, and I've got this packaging and this Dolby and all of this sort of stuff, which is what I think a lot of people will do. And I'm sick of that. I'd like to actually. Can we talk about the film?
Yes, please. Yeah, I agree.
That'd be nice. That'd be a bit unique, wouldn't it? Talk about.
I don't want to know. It's almost. I know there are people who love all the technical stuff and all this and that, but I don't. And I'm one of these people who like saying, I want to know about the film. You know, I don't want to know every single comparison with.
I don't want people to go into the film in the way that it stops me watching it because you've just told me everything about it. What I want to know about is memories of what it was like when you went to the pictures to see it, what it was that you felt when you came out of the pictures,
and why do you think it's
and why you think, and retrospectively whether you think it holds up now. Because I'm sick. Because, like I said, I can turn into any YouTube channel and I will see all the shit about what picture quality it's got, what quality it is, and all of that. And to be quite honest, because there's so many of those, they get boring.
They do, especially if you're not. Even more if you don't give a damn about all that stuff. I just want something I can watch that is okay to watch. I don't want to know all about.
I'm here because I love film.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to know it. I do want to know it's a good picture and everything. But I'm here to discuss. Well, what is it about the film that makes me want to go out and buy that?
And then people going on about the sound. I mean,
why should I care about this film if I've never seen it?
Yeah.
That sort of thing, you know?
Yeah. Right. Tony says, Ian Hendry ties with Barry Foster for being good at sleazy characters. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. They had that. Steve Moles just ordered a lot of HMV. There's an Arrow video sale, good selection of Blu-rays, $8.99. And there's also the 2 for £15. Yeah, I think it is
See,
a good
now,
sale.
this is the sort of chat that I like, because Stephen's just turned up and just told us all there's something going on that you might not be aware of, and that is there's a HMV sale on. What he hasn't done is he's been a complete bastard and told me about this, and I could do nothing till about 1 o'clock this morning, which is when this stream will end, and all the bloody stuff will be gone. So that's me stuff. Thanks very much,
Steve. You'll be all right.
Thanks very much, Stephen Moyle.
It'll be a good long sale. They're having this big long sale.
Yeah, but all the good stuff will be gone. Look,
yeah,
no word of the There's 4 hours to go now before I'll be able to look.
Well, it's probably all gone now.
Yeah, bastard.
Oh dear. Steve's Gaming. The wife and I are currently rewatching Love Thy Neighbour. I know it gets a bad rep, but it's still funny. Love Jacko. I'll have half. Yeah, I remember I'll have half. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there's the two people that are part of the union that basically go to the pub, don't they? And they're the sort of people that don't mind talking to black people, but he's a right bigot, isn't he?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
So he's always out on his own. But yeah,
and Jacko, that's all his line says. I'll have half every time. It's his catchphrase.
Yeah, because he's always at the pub when they're talking about union business.
Right. Tony Ox says, Ian, did you guess Simon Ward was the baddie in I Start Counting? Yeah, I did actually. I thought it signaled it quite early, I thought, because I was looking around, I thought, well, he obviously isn't. Oh, yeah, it'll be Simon Ward. It just looked like he would. And I was right. I think at that rate, you should get through those films by late next summer. There are two Cushing films were Planet Productions, of which I've never heard of before. I always thought they were Amicus, so they weren't Amicus then either. Planet Productions.
I see the bloody strategy now. He wants me off, and Tony wants to come in and fill in because he's talking to you now, going, "Oh, I'm glad you like this." And I always thought it was going to be this. And I always thought it was going to be that. Bog off, Tony. It's me here talking, not bloody you talking about all this stuff. You've given him the films now. Now sit down and shut up.
Oh dear, what can you say? Atlas is here again. Tony says, Steve just got the Blu-ray of Love Thy Neighbour film.
Yeah, Love Thy Neighbour film used to be on bank holidays and that. Won't show it now.
Was that a network title and has gone to that old gold media?
Well, it was. I think again, it was a Hammer comedy.
Oh, was it? No, I mean released now. You know, like the network released a lot of these films.
I really don't know because on the buses, the films are not under network.
Oh right, so this
although the TV series is.
Yeah,
I'm not. You see, the movies come under the Hammer film titles, so they come under the distributing rights of.
Oh well,
those.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
The network.
It's been a long time since I watched the. It's been a long time since I looked at the covers to see if they said network or not.
But I know that network released, for instance, Twins of Evil, which was a Hammer film on network. So they did obviously have some Hammer films.
This is where we need Jim Jam. You see.
Yeah, but Twins of Evil is considered one of the great Hammer films as well, and that they must have acquired the rights to that, and they released that.
I would not be surprised if it is a network film.
Yeah,
wouldn't surprise me.
Love that.
At the end of the day, we are talking about an ITV semi-financed film. even though it's
Yeah.
distributed through Rank or distributed through, Warner or whatever it is.
Yeah. Did it have all the proper cast in it as well?
Yes,
Oh,
it did.
fantastic! Because some of them didn't, did they?
Now saying that, I don't know if Jack's wife, because you know how the wife kept changing.
Oh. Oh, right.
Smethwick's wife.
Yeah.
She was different in the TV series than she was in the film, I think.
I wondered if that.
And remember, she was a different person in the pilot.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I wonder. I bet that is the case. Yeah. Stevie Gamer says nice. Delboy's area has watched season 2, episode 1 of that just 2 nights ago. There you are.
Yeah, Love Thy Name. Well, I had to say something because Love Thy Neighbour, it is a great, and I must admit, sometimes I do go to my old comedies and watch things to get to sleep.
Yeah. Is it on any of these late night channels then showing?
No. Sometimes if there's nothing on telly, and at the moment they're showing things like Robin's Nest and Kenny Everett's.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's what I wondered if they were showing.
I will go to my digital library and I'll watch something. But I just happened to put season 2 on.
Yeah.
Right. And I watched the very first episode, and just to prove that I watched the very first episode, the story was about the next door neighbor, having a party, and he wasn't invited to it, so he called the police round. And tried to fake the fact that he didn't actually call them, because he was celebrating because they were moving away. They'd given up the ghost of trying to turn this bigot around.
Yeah,
that was so, just to prove I did watch it. That was what that episode was.
Right. So we've got Tony saying thanks for the kind words, Del. There you are. Look, it's the kind words. After
don't worry, Tony. Don't worry, Tony. It was all fake. I'm just good at telling lies. Didn't mean a bloody word of it. Of course I did.
Steve Mull says some good horror movies to check out: The Mutilator, Deadly Manor, The Prey, Edge of the Axe. Oh, I've got that one. Yeah, I've got that one. Pieces, The Wind, The Zero Boys.
Yeah, I've seen the Zero. I've seen the Zero Boys.
The Slayer, Satan's Blade, and Doom Asylum.
And I've watched one of them, the Zero Boys.
Yeah, well, mine is just Edge of the Axe. It's the only one I've got.
Well, you always watch the Edge of the Axe. Otherwise, how are you going to keep the fire going in your house and that? You're in Leeds. You've only just got the gas up there, haven't you? So...
We're just chopping wood, put it on fire, lad. Yeah.
I'm just going outside to watch the Edge of the Axe. All right, won't be a minute. Might need sharpening.
Oh dear. Delboy's not seen any more than the one.
No, I'll tell you what. It's great that all of these films are mentioned. I wish I could remember half of them.
Yeah.
Of course, though, I don't know whether any of those. I mean, he says some good horror movies. What does he class as a good horror movie? Is it the gore? Is it the story? What? So, I'd like to know more, please,
probably.
Are they all under the same label, like Hammer or Amicus?
Yeah.
Or I know nothing.
I know the Edge of the Axe is one that I've got because it was on an Arrow sale. It's an Arrow release. That's why I got that one. I don't know the others though. No.
I must admit.
No. Doom Asylum. No.
As you know, I'm learning about horror. So anybody that talks about horror, I'm appreciative because I'm learning. Because I've watched a lot of horror, but I don't remember the titles, and I don't know what's good or bad anymore, and all of that sort of stuff. Other than obviously the ones that are well known, like
Yeah, I know the well-known
Halloween,
ones.
all of that, So
Oh, I'm just looking at the Zero Boys is 1986.
yeah,
Action horror, it says. It's
that's
down as
why
an
I've seen it.
action film. War games turn deadly for a group of young people whose celebratory camping trip leads them to an unoccupied house. Oh, that sounds original story, doesn't it? But yeah, so that sounds good. I won't go through them all.
Before you go any further, because Bob Art never gets time to stay in the room. He's put, "Hi gents, last time I made this last time I make this joke, but I'm sure it will be a few hours before you see this. Hello from the past. Don't worry, I've just finished drying the clothes in the mangle and sent the telegram." Because he's from Leeds. Dry your clothes in a mangle, don't you?
Oh, dear.
Don't send emails, you sent the telegram.
Oh, no, you should have said pigeon from Pigeon Loft.
Yeah, catch the pigeon.
It's not pigeons.
Dick Dastardly follows the pigeon while it's being... Fire away, keep going.
Right, next one is the Chill Factor.
Bloody hell.
Nightmare Beach. Madman. There's some great titles there.
Oh, they made a film about you, Madman.
Well, yeah, definitely. Always. And Stephen Moll says, I watched Edge of Sanity today, starring Anthony Perkins. Oh yeah, I've got of Psycho fame. It's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Jack the Ripper story. If you haven't seen it, it is worth checking it out. Yeah, I've got it. It is a good description of it.
I think somebody mentioned it on Pete's stream, and I went, "Oh, I must get around."
It's great. It's great, isn't it? I think that's the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sort of sums it up. It's great. Yeah. It's great. He's having a great time in that film, as you can imagine, playing those kind of characters.
Anthony Perkins is in more films than you think. I mean, a lot of people don't know he was in The Black Hole, even. I mean,
yeah, it's quite.
He was in a lot more films than you think, really, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but that is a very good film. Yeah, definitely. Edge of Sanity, highly recommended. Through the lens. Hello, my friends. How's it all going? Hello there, Josh. Yeah, we're all doing.
Had a nice chat with him on Saturday. That was great.
Yeah, we're all doing well, and Delboy's Delboy, I think.
Thanks very much, Delboy's Delboy. Thanks.
Yeah, there he is.
Well, thanks. Yeah, cheers. I only come here for the compliments, which is why I'm still here.
There's so many compliments. It's unbelievable.
I'm still waiting for the compliments. That's why I'm still here.
There's a good Spanish horror, Who Can Kill a Child, 1976, about possessed children on an island attacking tourists. That's a great description. Get rid of the tourists.
It's a nice cheery film, isn't it?
It is. Very cheery. Sounds good. Spanish. Would be Spanish.
Talking of possessed children, everybody's talking about Village of the Damned at the moment, aren't they?
Why is that?
I think it's just been released as a steelbook and as a special release.
Oh, right, yeah. What about the follow-up to it? Children of the Damned.
Oh,
Have you heard of that one as well?
I knew of it. I haven't seen it. I mean, I remember the original film and I remember the John Carpenter one. But
the original. Yeah. I just thought maybe the second one is not quite as well known, but yeah. Tony Hawk, I'll have to check that out, Tony. Through the Lens, watched the first Terrifier yesterday and sadly thought it was a load of tripe. YouTube fan films level of lunacy that did nothing for me whatsoever.
And I've just noticed that they finally released the steelbook of the first two films together in one package, so I ordered that.
Yeah. Do you know? I must confess, it's not something that I've not seen any of them. I've not sort of gone out my way to see them. I'm not a big fan of clowns, actually, to be honest.
I'll be back.
He's a clown-like character.
I'll just be back in a minute. All right.
Yeah. Obviously, I think in Pennywise, I like Pennywise in It, the Tim Curry one. I really think you can't beat. But generally, clowns I don't tend to be that big a fan of. And the Terrifier films have certainly, there's been a lot of hype about. A lot of people really love them and very excited. I might get round to watching it. I don't know. It's not something that I've thought, I want to really watch it. It's not something. I know it's a slasher film, and it's probably got the usual kind of cliches, but I see that character. I'm not excited by it. It's just not something I've thought, I want to watch that. Maybe that's just me, but I can. You say it did nothing for you. I can maybe understand that. Yeah, but I know people going mad about it, and and they're waiting for Terrifier 3 and all that. But yeah, I'm not bothered, to be honest, about it really. Tony says, Stephen, wasn't the easiest to get when I bought it a few years ago. Managed to get a foreign DVD with subs. That's usually often happens. Of difficult ones to get. And Through the Lens says, Nightmare on Elm Street worked so much for me because it has a campy edge to it that the other horrors don't. There's a wicked sense of humor to that I fell for. Yeah, I think I can see that. I just feel that film was so good, the first one, that I never really got into enjoying the same level as the other, like Halloween or Friday the 13th. As franchises, as groups of series, of films, than the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I don't know why. I think the third one in the hospital one is good, but it's not anywhere near as good as the first one. I think I agree that there is that sort of wicked sense of humor. It's such a good film, but as a whole, I just think it's one of the weakest. They didn't seem to be able to follow it up for me, but I know a lot of people do love it. It is a great character. He stands out, and there is that humor in it. But I don't know. That's just me, I think. I just tend to find it a bit well, the first one I say I love, but I know I'm wittering on, aren't I? I'm blabbering on, but yeah, that's just me with it. Right. So we've got Jim Jam Movies on TV. Good evening, gents. Well, good evening, but he's not here at the moment. I'm sure he'll be coming through again. Here he comes, talking of the devil. There he is. Yes. We've got Jim Jam saying hello.
All right, and bastard.
that's kind of grating, yeah.
No, I was hearing what you were saying about Nightmare on Elm Street. I think the other thing that I liked about the first film is that I think they nailed the main character's theme.
Yeah,
they've used it all the way through the film, so it must have been pretty popular.
Yeah.
You know how you've got Michael Myers' theme and you've got the
yeah.
I think it's important that a main character, that if you're going to have series of films that it has a theme that you sort of like can hum and go, oh yeah,
yeah,
it's all gone eerie.
yeah,
It's all gone, like, oh, that scares the shit out of me, because it's like they tried to do it with like Candyman and that sounds a little bit like a music box, when you open a music
yeah,
box, it's sort of
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
That works to an extent, but I
yeah,
think to have a proper theme, that goes a long way into why the film works for me.
yeah,
Because I think
yeah,
music plays a huge part for me when I watch a film.
yeah. Well,
Even to
I
the
think,
point, of if you don't use a lot of it.
yeah,
I appreciate that if it's an hour and a half film and there's only 30 minutes of music, that's fine, because the film only needed 30
yeah.
minutes. You know what I mean? But it has to be the right type
I
of
mean,
music.
look at Friday the 13th. That stabbing bit. It's only
Yeah.
a small bit, but you just get it. As soon as you hear that, you know it's Friday the
And
13th.
if you play it to someone, they'll go, "I know what that came out of." So that's when
Exactly.
you know it's popular.
Right, you've nailed it. If you've got that and somebody's identifying it straight away, you've done it.
So I didn't want to
Absolutely.
monopolize, but I just overheard what was going on about
No,
that.
that's good. Yeah. Anyhow, we've got Jim Jam was there saying hello, and we've got Jim Jam was says, I'm on the pot wash tonight. Oh, right, fine.
Yeah,
Enough.
he's got one of them water jets flowing at plates and things to clean.
Oh,
clean
right.
all pots.
We're having a late one. Okay. And Tony says, evening, James. All right, Josh. All right. Yo, Tony.
What's all this all right, Tony? When he's from bloody Birmingham. What's all that shit about?
I can't do his. He's just being friendly.
He doesn't do anything in my accent, does he?
Yeah, well, who would? Who would want to do anything? There's no. You wouldn't want to do that. Through Lens. Also watched the new Child's Play, and I enjoyed it. Very funny and unserious. That was a fun time with its premise. Chuck it isn't mean enough, but that's fine, I guess. This Child's Play, do you mean the TV series?
I think he must be the TV series, because series 3 is just finished, and I don't think
yeah,
for a long time, has there?
Because has there been a new release of Child's Play? I don't know.
That's what I just said. I don't remember seeing any film with Chucky.
No. Oh, the original film is just. I love the original film. Though, again, actually, Child's Play, it's another one that I think I maybe like the first 3, but once after that, it starts to go downhill very quickly. It becomes very samey, repetitive, not as interesting, just for me. But again, I don't know how many films there is, but there's quite a few, isn't there?
Yeah.
Steve's Gaming, Ian Dell. In my opinion, the 80s sitcom Ever Decreasing Circles is vastly underrated. I think it's awesome. Do you agree or disagree? That's Richard Bryars, isn't it?
Yeah. He was jealous of his next door neighbor, who seems to be sort of like always the know-it-all educated type person.
Right.
I think he's got 2 simpleton type people that he sort of like lords over, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I enjoyed it, but I don't go back to it because it's not a sitcom that sticks out for me.
Yeah.
He says he thinks it's awesome, and I couldn't disagree with him, but it's not for me. It's not up there with other like Man About the House and George and Mildred.
Yeah, I remember it. I don't remember seeing it more than once.
Yeah, that's it, sort of thing.
I can't remember any more than that. The Neighbours.
He was forever jealous. He was forever jealous with his new neighbor because he's so suave and sophisticated. He always thought that he was after his wife.
Oh yeah.
But what it is that he didn't like the one-upmanship all the time, because he was the one who was lording it over the other people in the cul-de-sac or whatever it was. You know,
Yeah.
they had these sort of like Cub Scout meetings or something, you know, where they were going to be
Yeah.
doing some bird watching or whatever it was, and he would come along and go, "Oh, you can borrow my really expensive binoculars if you want," you know, and he'd be going, "You bastard, you know, everybody used to borrow my binoculars because mine
Yeah.
were the best, and now you've come along and you've got, you know, all the mod con stuff." You know, it was all like that. And I suppose there's only so much one-upmanship that I can watch that before I go, this is the same as last week's episode. But saying that, I enjoyed it. It was a BBC one. It was a BBC show production. It was fun. It lasted quite a few years.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the next one is it's happened. Jim Jones says Joker 2 outstanding. Oh, what can I say?
You know what we're going to say about that?
No, all I've got to say is one thing. Is why do directors think it's clever that you build up a film, you create these characters, and then at the end you say, actually, it's not the character you thought it was. It's not the original one. Let's end the film like that. So, in other words, you've got to know a character, love the character maybe, and then you find out that it's not the character you thought it or wanted it to be. Clever directors and writers. I'm fed up of all that, to be honest. Just a rant. And that's what Joker 2 has done. That character is not the Joker.
I looked at it like this. I didn't comment on Saturday about Joker because the other 3 people in the room had seen it. I hadn't.
Yeah.
And I said, but you can talk about it to your life's, you know, to your heart's content, because I'm not so enthusiastic for me to go and watch it, you know, like tomorrow. And you've just gone and told me the ending, right?
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, if people are liking it, great. If people are not liking it, great.
Yeah. I can understand now why people would say, and I'm falling into that category, is that I love the first film, and doing that has devalued the first film. I mean, because we know it's not the Joker now. It's totally devalued that film. You know, as good a film as it was, now we don't bother. It's not the Joker. I think that's I don't know. It's just me, maybe the writing side of it. That it's a trick that I don't know. I don't like it, to be honest. Doing that, you know, especially if you really like that character and you've got into the film, and it's just devalued that film, in my opinion. But and maybe a bit radical to say that, but that's my initial reaction. The film might be good, and it probably is very good. This new one. There's good bits in it, but it just strikes me as why couldn't they be bold enough to say, yes, this is the Joker. It's not all this crap ending that you get saying it's not. Why couldn't they be brave and say, yes, it's not clever just to say, oh, by the way, it's been a complete waste of your time watching it because it's not the actual Joker. We've put this special ending at the end.
Yeah.
You see the real Joker. What a load of crap. I'm sorry. That's how I feel about it. You feel cheated. I would feel totally cheated by it.
I mean, from what I've heard, it's the ending that's a little bit divided.
Mm-hmm.
But from my point of view, I think the opinion of it is whether you like musicals or not.
Mm.
I'm not a huge person into musicals, and sometimes it can really irritate me and totally spoil my enjoyment of something. But most of the time, I can let it go.
Yeah.
But if you're in there to watch a film, if you've gone in there blind, say, and you don't realize that Lady Gaga's best known for singing, right? Not her acting, and you go in there and all of a sudden people start breaking into song, then you're going to turn around and go, what's this piece of shit? I came in here to to watch the Joker fight Batman or something, right? Or be about how the Joker became the Joker or whatever it is. And all of a sudden, there's all these people breaking out and singing into song and all this sort of stuff. That's why people will come out of the cinema going, "This is negative," right? For me, I always try to go into a film blind. And if there's something about it I don't like, I'll say. But you don't want to miss the point. And if the point is it was always intended to be a musical and you should know that, then fair enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you, actually. I think that's right. I don't mind the idea of people singing, if it's just part of it is. But if is it a musical or isn't it? That's the question, isn't it? And to me, clearly, obviously, it's not a musical, but that doesn't matter, because if the singing is there, fine. I think you can put up and accept it. But for me, it's the biggest sin is what I've talked about.
Take it like this. If they were doing a film version of The Invaders with David Vincent, right? And I didn't know anything about it other than it's just about to come out of the cinema. And I went into the cinema and there it was, started off with a spaceship coming down. David Vincent's in the back, in the back of nowhere, sees this saucer come down, right?
Yeah.
And then the next day he goes back looking for them, and everybody at the diner suddenly starts singing about grease and how to cook a burger and that. I'll be pissed off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's not the Invaders that I thought this was. What's all this singing about a cheeseburger and singing in an opera voice and all of this sort of stuff? No, I wanted to watch a science fiction thing with people's little fingers and all of this sort of stuff and conspiracy theories. I didn't come here to listen to David Vincent suddenly sing soprano.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I think sometimes when it comes to the Joker, it's going to be a bit divisive.
Yeah.
Because it's always been apparently intended to be part musical. That's why Lady Gaga's in it, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
And this is where some people will not watch a blind bit about what the film's about and will go in coming out going, what's that piece of shit?
Yeah.
Right? And others will go, oh, I knew about that bit, so I didn't find it offensive and it was all right to me.
Yeah.
And then there's the others that go, I couldn't care less one way or the other. I just wanted to go in to enjoy a film, and I did.
Yeah.
To me, it seems very much like most people are not liking the ending. I don't know if I'm right or wrong about that. It's to do with the ending mostly.
It is wrong. The ending is just ridiculous. It as I say, to me, it devalues the first film. I absolutely love the first film, and saying that character is not the Joker. I mean, what can you say? Well, why bother? I want to know what the real Joker was like. I don't want.
Yeah, so I'll probably look forward to watching, because I've ordered the Steelbook.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to probably watching it then.
Yeah.
And seeing what all the big problem and the hoo-ha was about it all. But at the moment, I couldn't care less if it had a bad ending, a good ending, or what. I ain't going to be going to the cinema to see it.
Yeah.
I'd rather go and see a film like Substance than Joker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All I'm saying is the singing doesn't bother me. The singing, I'll be quite happy if the singing's there. It's that the way that people have been.
Yeah,
it's almost like a cheap trick. It's like the director and writer saying, "Oh, let's do this." Let's be really clever and say he isn't actually the Joker at all. I just don't get it.
You can get away with it sometimes. I saw Little Shop of Horrors knowing that there was singing in it.
Yeah,
right? And that's because I knew it was a Broadway show turned into a film. Right. The thing about the Greatest Showman, right? I knew that the Greatest Showman had singing in it.
Yeah.
Right. It was set in a circus, and I knew straight away that because the soundtrack came out the same day. there was a huge amount of singing in it, and Hugh Jackman was there in the trailer singing away like nobody's business, right? The Joker, if you watch the, I don't know, I mean, if you watch the trailer, is there any singing in the trailer?
I haven't watched the trailer.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So if there's singing in the trailer, that might give you an indication that it was going to be a musical.
I don't know.
All I know is a lot of people probably weren't expecting a musical. That's all I'm saying. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong on that. Remember that the Joker is a DC character, and I'm not really into DC films.
Yeah,
but I'll watch them.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, I'm appreciative of anything that's going to entertain me.
yeah,
yeah.
Let's see. We've got here Jim Jam movies. Thoughts on Duck Soup? It's a Marx Brothers film, and I've not seen it.
Bloody hell!
It's
the Marx Brothers to me were an outfit that you either really got or didn't. I mean, what is it? Harpo, Groucho. Forgotten what the other two are. Groucho was the one that sort of like is the leader, and he just kept having a cigar and having a big heavy eyebrows, and he seemed to have a wit about him. Every time he talked to somebody, he'd sort of like look up at you and say, "There it is, old doll," and all of this sort of stuff and that.
Yeah.
To me, the happy one was the one with the curly hair who was playing at the piano or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
Was that Harpo? Is it?
Yeah, it's Harpo. Yeah.
Harpo. And so you've got so there are characters in it that you really like, and if they all gel, brilliant. But I only ever got on with one character out of the whole of the Marx Brothers.
Yeah.
So I didn't really watch a lot of the Marx Brothers films. I never really did. No. They weren't like Laurel. They were so divisive compared to Laurel and Hardy and Chaplin and that they were so different. Even though they were 30s films, I don't think they ever did a silent film. I think I think all of their films were long as well. They were the longs, not the shorts. Laurel and Hardy did a mixture of shorts and long films. By the way, a little known fact is you could always tell a long or a short film. It was actually denoted by how many reels. So a 2-reel film is 25 minutes. A 4-reel film was an hour or more, right? So I think, to give it its proper moniker, the Marx Brothers were 4-reel film plus films, long films. And I just didn't get on with the humor too much. Like I said, I think there was only one character that I ever liked. So sorry. What I will say about Duck Soup is it's got a legendary status, and it's probably well deserved. I've seen it once, and I've come away going, can't remember half of it.
Yeah.
Where if you were to ask me what went on in Way Out West, I could tell you everything that went on. Everything that went on.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me what went on in City Lights, I can tell you everything that went on, and that's a Chaplin film.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm trying to get at is that probably tells you more about what my feelings are for the Marx Brothers.
Yeah. I think it's strange because the only recognition of Marx Brothers films I had heard of Duck Soup, and I think I might have seen it, is of course the Queen albums, which 2 Queen albums are named after Marx Brothers films. That's my knowledge of the Marx Brothers, and that's it.
Yeah.
Day at the Races and Night at the Opera. That's it. They don't.
Yeah, those are the 3 films that I could mention. I should think.
They don't. They're not something that you remember. They're not out. I don't know what it is.
I know more about the Three Stooges than I do about the Marx. Marx.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe they're just.
I heard Groucho Marx was a bit hard to get on with as well on set.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly.
Maybe, I don't know. I think you either like them or you're not bothered, and I'm probably not bothered about them. They don't. I don't think. Oh, Marx Brothers. No, it
But I'll
doesn't.
tell you what, we don't want any jokes about soup. We had all that 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
I like tomato. No, I like oxtail. You like tomato.
Yeah.
My mum likes big soups, and we'll leave it there. Duck soup, don't go into it.
Soup Dragon, clangers.
Bloody
We'll have
hell.
that instead.
Shut up now. We're not starting all that nonsense again. We were there for an hour last time.
Stephen, well, Tony, it was released on Blu-ray in the States with a different title, Island of the Damned. Oh yeah, just going back a bit. And used to watch the repeats of Ever Decreasing Circles. I enjoyed them. Richard Briers was usually good.
He is. Most people don't even recognize that he was a trained Shakespearean actor. He was actually in that Henry V reenactment that what's his name did?
Which
the modern one of Henry V, done by the bloke who was in Young Frankenstein, not Young Frankenstein, Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. What's his name?
Yeah, I know. He's a famous bloke, and he directs and acts and does everything.
I know.
What's his
Kenneth
name?
Branagh. There you are.
Branagh, that's it. Yeah, Branagh. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah. And of course, Richard Briers is in the going to be in the new Doctor Who release coming out end of this month, in one that is not well thought of. Through the lens, channels can be quite samey, but I just like supporting others on the journey. I like to try and separate myself from others.
Oh yeah, that's Josh turning around to my comment where I said that most reviews are samey, and I'd wish that there'd be more about what the film is than they are about the picture quality and everything.
Yeah.
Josh does a review more along the lines of what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Because he will mention now whether the picture is good or bad or whatever, but he will go on and say, I don't like it because the script is bad. Or I do like it because the script is good and it's entertaining. And that's all I'm trying to say is that when we go into chats these days, the chats are all the same, and they're all going, have you seen the trailer? And the trailer's great. And then what did you think? Have you seen the film? And then when you come back and say the picture quality was great, I'm going, no, I want to know whether you like the film, not whether the picture is all right.
Yeah.
There's enough videos out there telling me about whether the picture's all right. Don't need to know that much.
Right. Here's a comment for you, Delboy. I prefer vegetable soup. Yeah, I like vegetable soup as well.
We don't want Soupgate. Thank you. That's Watergate. Soups. We don't want Soupgate. All right. Not enough of that.
Oxtail. That's what you said you liked.
Yeah, I like oxtails. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell.
Being ham soup for me with some crusty bread. Oh yeah.
Crouton.
Tomato. Oh yeah. Stephen, yes, I think it has various titles, bit like giallos and spaghetti westerns, and I bought 2 copies of several because of that. All these titles. Tony Swang. Love Thy Neighbor is a network Blu-ray. Yes.
Yeah. Love Thy Neighbor is network. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always was.
They brought it out. Yeah.
Oh, the film we were talking about.
Yeah, the film. They must have brought it out before they went under again. Yeah. Frank Holder, Ian, Delboy, and all. I bought complete Chucky. I used to love it, but flipping heck, it's aged so badly I couldn't watch it. Oh God! Do you lads ever have something aged so bad that you can't watch it now? Oh, crikey, that's a good question.
Chucky is
Yeah.
quite old. That was
Oh yeah, I know mine
that was
straight
a
away.
TV show in the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Chucky. Is there a TV show that's aged so badly I can't watch it now? I don't think there's anything that I can't watch. It's just whether I'd want to watch it.
Yes, actually, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen. Yeah, okay. Then there's probably things like Jackanory I wouldn't watch.
Yeah.
Because I found it boring the first time. Why am I going to think of anything different the second time? I don't know. I mean, I'd watch anything. I mean, I'd watch Magic Roundabout. I'd watch Will-O the Wisp. I'd watch Trumpton. I'd watch Bagpuss. I'd watch all of those all over again.
Well, those are all right. They're not bad ones.
I'd even watch the Riverbank. Yeah. What would I not watch? That's a difficult one. I'll have to come back to you on that, Frank. It's a good question. But my answer really is that I'll watch anything. And then I'll come to the conclusion on, nah, that didn't do anything for me the second time I watched it. I don't think I'd watch probably like Different Strokes. You know, we were talking the other day about Gary Coleman and all that.
Yeah.
That was an American show that I loved at the time. I watched a documentary about Coleman, you know, and his battles with his parents and his disease and how his marriages all turned out before he died.
Yeah.
And they showed all the actors that were from it, you know, Dana Carvey or whatever her name was. She died of drug overdose or whatever it was. Stuff. But they showed clips of the original show, and I cringed at some of the canned laughter, and when he was saying things like "What you talking about, Willis?" and all of this sort of stuff. I sort of cringed even at the clips. So I should think that I'd probably cringe at the actual watching the episodes again.
Yeah.
So that's probably a contender where I wouldn't cringe at watching Happy Days.
No.
And I wouldn't cringe probably, you know, a lot, you know, even probably Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which I was never a fan of.
Yeah.
But I probably would, you know, All right, there was a show called Benson, which was a black.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was a spin-off. I think I'd probably get on with that more than Different Strokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
I think it's all to do with whether it fits now or whether the jokes stand up now. And the thing about what Steve was saying earlier about Love Thy Neighbor, it will always be topical because we're talking about race now.
Yeah.
You know, all of the things about, I can imagine a bigot living next door to me and going through the same palaver of how can I get rid of him out of his house? How can I go on holiday knowing that person next door is probably going to do this, that, or the other with me, you know, because they're rowing neighbors, basically. That's what they are, with racism thrown in. You know, I don't know whether mind your language and all that sort of stuff goes on. You know, half the jokes that are
I've watched some of Mind Your Language on YouTube. I still find it quite funny. I know it's probably totally wrong to say that, but I don't find, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's offensive" and blah blah blah.
That was the show that he did
after.
It
quite funny, actually.
He continued the Doctor series, didn't he? When Robin Nedwell left, He became the main character, and then when that was cancelled, the next thing he did was Mind Your Language.
Yeah.
And the thing that resonated with me about Mind Your Language was that I recognised the hallways of the school.
Yeah.
It was set in a studio, but it actually looked like our school.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In regards to the hallways and the canteen and everything, because we used to have what they call an arts and technical college. And if you ever went there, basically everything communed around the canteen, and the rest was all just like you saw classrooms set up in every classroom was set up the same way, with the same blackboard, the same chairs, and the same tables. Everyone was faceless. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But anyway,
So what's?
Well, can you think of a show? I told you a couple, really.
I think it's quite a difficult one.
It's difficult.
I know what has aged badly, but I didn't really like a lot of them. I might have done for a few moments as a kid, but it's the children's TV of the 1960s. You were lucky. The 70s and 80s was a lot better, but let's face it, a lot of the 60s children's TV, like Andy Pandy,
so you couldn't watch Muffin the
Mule.
Mule.
Really, if you watched them now, you'd think it was like from another planet. It was just so bad.
But don't you think there's a charm? Don't you think there's a charm though when you see a clip of Bill and Ben and
Bill and Ben a bit better than Andy Pandy, but I don't know. It wasn't a good children's television. Wasn't very good.
I don't know what it is, but every time I think of Teddy Edward, I keep thinking of Teddy Edward as a character that's sort of like standing upright in the middle of a field or something.
Yeah.
Still shots of a teddy, standing up in the grass with a mountain scene behind him or something. Right? Why is that? I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the show. I don't
know. I think I liked more grown-up, older children TV. A lot of it is much more memorable. Like Double Deckers was. I remember we used to enjoy that, and then of course the BBC series that they used to do, which were always great.
Of course, Steve's just made a suggestion.
Yeah,
but I can't mention that program. A, because I said I'll never mention its bloody name ever again, and B, he wanted to know, is there something so old or so bad that's aged badly? That show didn't age badly at all, Stephen. It was bloody awful in the first place. That was why I never watched that bloody show. And I'll let you guess what that is, Ian. You'll see it later on.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to answer this question. Yeah. To be honest, I didn't love any of those shows, and I can't really bear to watch them now. If I see them, I think, crikey, it was awful. What did my mum do to me? Trying to inflict me with that stuff, preschool stuff on a small little screen. You imagine all these awful black and white shows that were just dreadful. The posh TV. There was always some posh voice on BBC. Oh, dreadful. So I can't bear to watch them now. It just brings back so many bad things like that. Yeah, I prefer to watch the adult stuff, which I was watching. The adult stuff was far more interesting. Yeah. So anyhow, we'll go on to the next one. Delboy's Retro Zone. There you are again. We Bob Art. Hi, gents. Last time I make this joke, but I'm sure it will be a few hours before you see this. Hello from the past. Don't worry. I haven't just finished drying the clothes in the mangle. Sent a telegram.
Remember I just told you about that joke?
Yes, I know. You
And I
did.
said, that's that, and that's how you do wash your clothes, isn't it? In the mangle. That's what you told me.
I'm sure I did. Yeah.
You did. You said, "What do you mean, washer dryer?" I went, "I told you, a washer dryer is sort of an electrical machine that sort of does all your washing." And you turned around and said, "What? You don't use a mangle?" And I went, "No, I don't. We don't use a mangle anymore, Ian. You know, we've had these conversations before, Ian.
What can I say?
You're making it sound like I've made it all up."
You making things up. Oh, shock horror.
I'm still waiting from that. I'm still waiting for that telegram from you. Anyway,
yeah, I want me bacon and egg butty. I won't mind one of them.
Egg. Oh,
yeah.
Why do you keep ruining things by putting bloody eggs on it?
You know, what can you say?
Just have a bacon butty with sauce. What's this egg shit?
You can have egg in it. It's all right.
Bollocks.
It's fine. It's fine.
You got all that. You got all that greasy white stuff around it. No.
Anyway, here we have Wee Bob Art. Hi, gents. Last time I make this joke, but I'm sure it will be a few hours.
Just said that.
Hello from the past. Don't worry. I've just finished drying the clothes in the mangle and sent a telegram. So you sent that twice just to make sure that we got it. Yeah, we got it. Yes, we did. Tony Hawk, I see 88 Films next Tygon release is moving into sleaze. Oh, with Virgin Witch 1972, with the two Michelle sisters, including Vicky from Hello. I'll say this once, whatever it is.
Some of the Tygon ones are a bit sleazy though, because that Witchfinder General. No, it was the Blood on Satan's Claw that was a bit.
Oh yeah, that has got a bit of element in that. Yeah, I would say so. But that's why they did well.
It was at the time where you
people were excited going to see. If it said X certificate, wow, let's get there. Yeah, an X certificate film. There's P. There you are. Okay, real comment. I just watched the 2003 update to Alien 3 for the first time the other day. And it's so much better than the theatrical release. If they tweaked a few CGI parts, it would be great. Yeah, there's this Alien 3 debate still goes on.
It gets a bad rep, and I already turned around and I said, I don't know why people give Alien 3 such a bad rep, because it's the fourth one to me that's bloody awful.
There's only one thing really wrong with it. And do you know what that is? Why didn't they allow Brian Glover to have his Yorkshire accent? Bloody hell. Why did he have to have a bloody posh accent?
That weren't the wrong part.
What were they doing? But otherwise, it's a great film.
No, he should have gone to a voice coach. He should have. Bloody Yorkshire accent.
It didn't suit him at all. I kept saying, that's Brian Glover. What is he doing? He's not turning into a blooming southern softie, is he?
Oh, hang on a minute.
What the hell's happening?
There's nothing wrong with him doing all of that.
So that kind of, the reason Alien 3 always had problems was because they didn't give him his Yorkshire accent. If they'd given him his Yorkshire accent, the film would be a masterpiece. Now we'd be all saying what a masterpiece it is. But sadly, he didn't get his Yorkshire accent.
What a load of bollocks. I haven't heard one statement where it says the reason this film's shit is because Brian Glover hasn't got a Yorkshire accent. There is not one,
he had to speak.
There is not one line of critical acclaim about that ever. It's all to do with it's on a prison planet, it's boring. Nothing to do with Brian Glover's not got a Yorkshire accent in it.
Yeah. But actually, I do like, putting aside all that stuff, I do actually like Alien 3. I think it gets a bad rep. It shouldn't get a bad rep like it does.
It's David Fincher's first film, so I can let it go for an awful lot of things, right? But the fourth film is far worse than the third film.
Alien 3 is a good
as far as I'm
think it's a good
concerned,
idea.
it makes perfect sense that you've had a first film which is all about claustrophobia and scares. You've got a second film which is all about massive amounts of aliens, and it's all about the numbers against the few.
Yeah.
And you've got a third film which is all about what you're going to do if you've got no bloody weapons.
Yeah.
Right? It's if you're looking at it from a script or a story point of view, it makes perfect sense. What's all this clone nonsense? What a load of shit.
But why do people go mad and say it? I don't understand why there's so much, people not liking Alien 3. Okay, it's not Alien and it's not Aliens 2, but it's a good film. I think it is. I think it's a good film.
Even Sigourney Weaver thought the third film was a apt ending, which is why she said, I want to be chucked into a fiery depth where I die.
And didn't want to be a clone.
And then they brought her back as a bloody clone.
Yeah.
And they gave her a pay packet that she couldn't ignore.
Well, I don't blame her. I don't blame her for taking money.
She was of that age where it's...
You don't. You can't blame her for that, really.
Talking about Sigourney Weaver, the next steelbook I ordered this week was Galaxy Quest.
Oh, another great film.
So there's a 4K release before the end of this year of Galaxy Quest. But anyway, going back to Alien 3. Alien 3 has got its issues, but I would not say it's anything to do with cinematography. I wouldn't say it was anything to do really with too much to do with the script. But I would say that some of it was cut out that basically made it choppy.
Yeah.
But when you put those bits back in, which is what Bob Art is saying here, he said, look, I watched it the other day and there's bits that have been put back in and it's so much better. That's exactly the statements of Daredevil when Daredevil came out, right? It got a terrible review. Then they put 30 minutes of footage back in it and everybody thought it was a bloody masterpiece. What the bloody hell? Why did you cut all this shit out? It's marvelous now.
There's a lot of films.
It's too late. It's got a reputation of being shit.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's amazing. A lot of films have that, they get cut out for a theatrical release, put the bits in when it comes out now on physical media. And we're going, wow, why didn't they keep it in? But there we are.
Anyway, I'll tell you what the bad points were in Alien 3 is they replaced the alien blood with Yorkshire tea. And that was the bad thing about it, right?
Here we go.
Because you need acid for blood. What's all this Yorkshire blood? What's all this Yorkshire tea as blood for the alien? That's a load of shit. That's all Leeds crap, isn't it? That's all been brought back into it.
Oh dear. And Tony says,
I heard a rumor that I heard a rumor anyway that he liked PG tips anyway.
I like that. And also, Anthony Perkins made a great baddie in North Sea Hijack. Is that the one with Roger Moore in again? I think I may be wrong on that one.
I'm not sure, but I do know the film you're talking about. That's where they have to blow up the rig, don't they, before before it explodes, because it's out in the middle of the North Sea or something, isn't it? Right. Terrorists attack an oil field or something, don't they? Terrorists attack a North Sea oil rig, don't they?
Yeah, here we are. North Sea Hijack. Yeah, Roger Moore, Anthony. James Mason's in it.
Hasn't Roger Moore got a mustache in that?
He may well. I can't. Not on the picture it's shown here, but yeah, he might have. I didn't know James Mason was in it. Lee Brody. Oh, David Hedison. He's in it. Oh,
is that another Leeds actor?
Michael Park, Schulman, Faith Brook. I know her. I've not heard of Faith Brook. Apparently, she was the Prime Minister. Oh, female Prime Minister. Oh yeah, we had Maggie Thatcher then. I like it when they predict female ministers, but she's 79, isn't she, Thatcher? So that wasn't predicted. Anyhow, Anthony Hopkins is in that with Roger Moore and James Mason. Huddersfield lad.
Oh, here we go. Bloody hell.
No, but it's all right. We'll move on. Don't worry. Delboy's Retro, all released on Arrow. Delboy.
You just mentioned
that was the list of all them films.
You just mentioned 75% of that cast all being Southern, and you just mentioned the one Northerner. This is what gets me anyway. Retro Zone. They're all released on Arrow. Delboy. Some good slashers. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that I mentioned I'd seen one, and that mine was on Arrow Video, so they were all Arrow.
Of course, HMV are having an Arrow sale.
Yeah.
So of course
yeah.
Oh,
which
look
is
at that.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Have a look. Yep. Children of the Damned was amongst those DVDs. I know it was. Don't keep mentioning it because
bloody hell! Shut up, Tony. Bastard.
I'm watching it. Yeah, actually enjoyed it very much. It's been too long since I saw Village of the. Yeah, I couldn't say it was better without rewatching. But yeah, I've got it on my list to watch.
Yeah. If anybody wants to send me Village of the Damned Steelbook from Germany my way, I don't mind, Tony. You know, all accepted with big smile on my face and thank you very much. You know what I mean?
And not the remake. This is the original one. Because isn't it John Carpenter did the remake, didn't he?
1995 with Mark Hamill and Christopher Reeves.
Stephen Wells, oops, don't tell Delboy that Ian, you know, he's going to send the Terrifier films to you now. Oh, no. I mentioned about the Terrifier film.
Yeah, that's because he's a bastard. Right.
I'm not in a hurry to see him. I'm not bothered. The Child's Play I watched was the 2019 film with Mark Hamill as Chucky. Oh, I
think that was the last film that's in that box set. I haven't got around to watching that one yet.
All right. I've not seen the remake of it. It'd be interesting to watch that remake. Yeah. Ross says, thank you so much, Delboy, for playing Blitz on the VIC-20. It brought back so many memories. I was 9 back then. I seem not to be able to leave a comment on your channel for some reason. Thank you. He always makes it awkward on his channel.
I don't. I've just checked and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing there.
I hear this every week from people saying,
no, only from Frank. Only from Frank, and I sorted that.
He can't make channel. He's here. He's got watch this. He's here. Just check Ross. No idea why you're not blocked or anything unless you go under another name. Also, be careful, as certain words get banned due to recent trolling. Sorry about that, but glad you liked it. Well, there you are. There's the answer.
No, somebody mentioned to me the other day, Denny, he said, I've put my comments up and they never reached it.
Yeah.
And then when he actually sent it personally to me, it was because it had some swear words in and it was about things like the rail strikes.
Oh, we got I get
all of this sort of stuff. And sometimes, depending on the content that you're putting in, sometimes it's about the words that you put in it.
Yeah.
They just get blocked.
Yeah.
Because each person that's got a YouTube channel has got the right to say, I want my channel moderated highly or medium or low in regards to comments.
Yeah.
Mine is set to medium. So depending on what the comments are, it can sometimes get blocked just because YouTube have put an official they've heightened their policy in regards to the words that are being used. And your own security settings might be too high for it to come through.
Because I've replied to comments, and then I've suddenly gone. Maybe a few days later, I've gone on YouTube studio, and I'm thinking, well, I replied to that, and there's the comment there, and it's gone. My comments have
Yeah.
gone.
And
I
it's for
don't
no,
know
and it's
why.
for no, and it's for no reason other than there's probably one word that they've
Yeah,
misrepresented.
because I don't normally put generally controversial down. So it's one of those things. It just so I always know, because you get to a point where if you leave it a long time, you'll have a look and you'll think, crikey, they'll think I'm awful because I haven't replied back to their
Yeah,
comments. It could be a week later and you're thinking,
yeah.
shit, I've
It,
replied
it,
to them.
most of the stuff in my blogs, I read out every comment, but I can't read every comment that's in the other videos that I do. So for
Yeah,
all of those videos, I make sure I put a heart against them all.
yeah.
So heart,
So
heart, 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 heart,
yeah,
heart, heart. Even if I haven't got round to writing a comment,
yeah,
just so they know I've read it.
yeah,
But all I can say to you really on this is that for whatever reason, Roz, it might be actually something your end in regards to the browser that you're using,
yeah,
or the words at the time that you were using, or whatever. The best thing for you to do ever is go to one of my old videos and put test and hit send. Right? I'll get an email message saying somebody has answered this, and I can tell you now whether I get it or not.
yeah, yeah.
And all you've done is put the word test in. So there should be no reason why that wouldn't get through.
No, no.
But it's if you put things like colons and commas and full stops
Yeah,
and all of this sort of stuff, or punctuation that it doesn't
yeah,
like, it could be anything to do with that.
yeah.
Just
Does it
remember this.
still?
Just remember this. All of our keyboards has got what they call the musical sharp symbol. You know, the little gateway
Yeah.
mark. Yeah, on a network, that's that. Sorry, what that is now considered to be as a hashtag now, as a slogan. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm just saying to you, Ian, do you recognize that the sharp symbol that used to be a musical motif is now what they call a slogan? It's called hashtag.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, the hashtag symbol is something that's used in network topology. If you want to write a network command, you'd put hash this,
Oh.
right? And it
Oh.
would then go to the C drive or the D drive of a computer, right? So if you start putting hashtags and things into your comments,
Yes.
then YouTube probably block it because they
Oh.
think of it as a slogan. And remember, you can't put web addresses. They
No.
all
Oh
get
no.
blocked.
No.
They all
No.
get
That's
blocked
true.
because that's looked as advertising.
Yeah. 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 There are
So you
certain
can't
things. Yeah.
so you can't put
Yeah.
at symbols in, you can't put
Yeah.
.com in,
And there's
all
still
sorts.
certain words you can't use.
Yeah.
Apparently. There's.
So
I think.
anyway, enough about that. It was just to let
Yeah.
you know, really, I don't know what's going on
Yeah.
there. But it's nothing to do with what's on my site. You're not blocked or anything. Not that I
No.
can see.
Right. We got Wee Bob out again. La la la. Not sure about Joker. We'll wait to see it. So, not listening to you. We need a hand signal like the football score. Mind you, there might be a bit of audio lag issue with that idea.
What he's saying is, if you're
Oh, the
talking about
football.
something,
Oh, yeah, I
if
know.
you're talking about something that could get a spoiler, you ought to put your
Yeah,
hands up.
yeah, yeah. I get you. Yeah.
Because he was going la 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 la
Yeah,
la
yeah,
la la
yeah,
la. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know
I
what that
get you.
was.
Yeah. Wee Baba, if you do want to know the score, look away now. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
what
have
they
that.
do.
We'll have
Yeah.
that statement. We'll have that
Yeah.
statement. If you don't want to know about this film,
Yeah.
look away now.
But and leave people. I'll say, and but then they talk about it, and it says you can leave the room or say something, but you can hear it. You can still hear them.
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
are.
yeah.
So, oh dear. Right. Enjoy listening to you and Ian chatting away. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, brilliant,
Thank you.
Roz. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Wee Boba, to be fair, I think just wait till you change the question. My bad. I will stop moaning now. It's all right. we don't mind people moaning.
Hang on
Don't
a
mind
minute.
people moaning.
Hang on a minute.
Oh God, yeah.
A Scottish bloke stop moaning. You got to be kidding, and
Here we go.
you got to be bloody kidding. Worse than you, Ian. Scottish, right? Moan the lot of them. Love you, wee Bob.
Oh dear. Have we got any more Scottish people who?
If you haven't guessed it, wee Bob is Scottish, right?
Yeah,
wee
I know.
Bob.
That's what I mean. Oh dear.
Probably sitting down. He's probably sitting down now with his kilt on. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, and what else have we got? Seymour says Joker 2 is bad. That's all I'm going to say.
Look away now. Spoiler.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Yes. Oh dear. Watched and now the screaming starts. 1973. Oh, Amicus. Yeah, it's their only attempt at a gothic horror. Not quite up to horror standards, but enjoyable. Good cast: Peter Cushing, Ian Ogilvy, Patrick McGee, Stephanie. Beecham. Here we are, Beecham, and Herbert Lom, of course, but only briefly. He's another who liked to take the money. He'd appear in just a few scenes, and then off he goes. Does his thing, and everybody goes. Herbert Lom's in this film, and that's it.
He's a jobbing actor, in other words.
Yeah, so many films, and if he's lucky, of course, he gets on the poster, it'll say Herbert Lom, and people thinking, "Oh, Herbert Lom," and then you're going, "Huh?" He's in and out of it. Frank Holder, Joker 2.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
A big letdown. I won't watch it again. Oh, crikey, that's a strong opinion as well. Duck Soup is good, but I feel really overrated. Oh, right.
There you go. Yeah, Marx Brothers. Like I say, it's all down to opinion. I would say Duck Soup deserves the accolades it gets, but it probably is overrated because they mention that film in particular whenever they're talking about good Marx Brothers films. Well, if that then is the best Marx Brothers film,
exactly, that's interesting. Yeah,
and then basically what you're saying is the yardstick's pretty low.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Good point. Now, it's true. What you said is exactly true. What they say. I never clicked with Marx Brothers, really.
I think Marx Brothers would have been a much better outfit if they'd have done some shorts, but they every single one was a film.
Yeah. Delboys.com. Manimal. We always have to have that. It gets its mention every week.
Yeah, but that's why I was turning around. We were talking about old film, old TV programs. That was the shit.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything to do with it being old. It's just shit.
So we get every week.
It is worse than dog muck at the bottom of my shoe.
Perhaps we ought to have a special spot, the Manimal spot.
Oh yeah, we'll have
every week.
We'll have a watch along. Manimal. Delboy's watch along of Manimal. Yeah, great. Now talk about shit. Yeah.
Wee Bob, I can't watch quite a lot. The A-Team and some shows that I loved as a teenager, as looking back, it is just cringy. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, again, I'm not really a big fan of A-Team. I just never really got into it.
Again, vigilantes going around. They help people. That something's going on. I mean, at the end of the day, I still don't get away. We got to camouflage ourselves. I'll tell you what, we'll go around in a black transit van with a big red stripe going down the side of it. It was almost the same as Starsky and Hutch with, we'll go around in a red car, a white bloody lightning symbol all down the side. We'll look inconspicuous. We were, weren't we, driving around in that vehicle? And I'm going, what? And every time that van's going around, they open the back end of that van and it's got a machine gun firing bloody all sorts of shit along. You know, and I'm going to myself, where's all the gun laws? I mean, he's got a bloody machine gun going like this with it, shooting, and all the vehicles are going, like, it's up in the air and that. I'm going, where'd you get the shotgun shells for all this shit?
You're making it sound like a comedy now.
Well, it is a comedy if you ever bloody watch it. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. The A-Team is a little bit long in the tooth, but it's not cringe-worthy to the point that I wouldn't watch it because it has aged bad.
No,
it was bloody bad in the first place.
Yes, it was bad.
Sort of. Because I don't know how they got away with some of the gun laws and things that were going on. They always had nitroglycerine. They must have a bloody great big factory where they get this stuff from. They must go on eBay and say, yes, 2 warehouses full of nitroglycerine, please. Can you deliver it to this place?
We're going
to need a year's worth supply.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, geez, I deleted the first one. I found
that was that comment because he did it twice."
Yeah. Tony Hawk, by gum. Look at your alien.
Oh,
your big teeth, a newfangled acid blood. Brian Glover. Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't speak like that. He spoke rather posh.
Yorkshire tea blood.
By heck.
Got Yorkshire tea blood. Right.
But it's funny though, when I saw it the Alien 3. It honestly, it was the first thing that crossed my mind, even back in those days. I thought, bloody hell, why is he speaking posh? What's up with him? That, I don't know. A very good film is coming to Blu-ray soon. Juggernaut, starring Richard Harris. Oh, I've not heard of that one. Richard Harris, of course. Yeah, I've heard of him. Great actor.
Was that a film that came out around the same time as Jewel or something? Juggernaut. Is it sort of similar to Jewel?
Is it a lorry version of Jewel?
Yeah.
Big, massive Juggernaut. Tony Hawk says, watch the second Tony Hancock film. Yeah, Punch and Judy Man. Found it better than the first one, The Rebel. Once you accept it's not going to be anything but miserable, it allows you to enjoy it more. Yeah, we talked about him before. He's not somebody who.
That was the one where I told you the only film I can think of that I've seen was Punch and Judy Man, and he was a miserable bastard in that.
Yeah. It's one of those that a lot of people. Well, I don't think they do now, but they used to go on about him a lot. And when you actually see him, he just seems disappointing that he's not as funny as you thought he would be. He's miserable, as you say, totally miserable.
Yeah, he wasn't very well liked on set, apparently.
Cheeky Del, they are. Tony says, Stephen, hoping to get Juggernaut, good cast. I've had the DVD for years. It'll probably end up at Ian's or Dell's.
See what I mean? No, it will definitely end up at Ian's. Dell's got fucking no chance.
You never know.
Only way I'm getting it is when Ian's about to put it. When Ian's going to turn around and say, "I'm not taking it to Kex. I'll send it to Dell."
Then tell you what Stephen Ross. Ross says, "Thanks, guys. I'll look at my settings." Yep, that was.
It might not be your own settings. It's probably to do with your YouTube settings.
Yeah.
And it might also be whatever you type in your comment. Just send, best thing to do, send a comment that says test.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that, can you?
Stephen Moore says, £28 for Tank Girl on HMV. They can keep it at that price.
Tank Girl gets
28 quid.
Tank Girl gets a lot of criticism. It's a shit film, blah, 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 blah. It is based on a comic book. It's sort of like the comic book. I didn't get on with it. But then again, I never liked the comic book in the first place, right?
Yeah, well,
It's almost like watching a 90s version of Barbarella, but with war. All she does is like going around with guns and tanks and blowing things up and all of that sort of stuff. And she dresses up with long stockings and or
yeah,
very tomboyish or whatever it is.
yeah.
Was it Laurie? What's her name? It was Laurie. Forgotten her name now. Laurie. Anyway, married to I can't remember who it is. It's not a great film, and 28 quid. Yeah, you can get stuffed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it at 28
Hell
quid,
of a
but
lot,
I think it's a Criterion release. Maybe that's the reason why
That's
it's
probably
28 quid.
that's it. That's probably why. So we've got Wee Bob Art. I'm away to bed soon. Yes, in my kilt. I wear it to bed along with my stuffed haggis plushie. I will make sure I do a wee okay the news
Just
before I fall asleep, and my head and or Willie Bucket.
Willie Bucket.
Yeah. Okay there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Bye, wee Bob, you bastard.
I'm Scottish too, from Glasgow, says Ross. There you are. So be careful, little Delboy.
Oh, with Ross, you're the boss, isn't it?
And he's laughing now. Yeah.
I'm just surrounded by bloody Norman bastards.
Hi, Ross. Just make sure you have your kilt on. Because guys eventually read this while they eat their wee Yorkshire puddings and drink their freshly squeezed orange juice.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with freshly squeezed orange juice, you bastard. Go on. And I'll have you know that I put sausages in my Yorkshire pudding. I have Tony O.
Yeah, and he would, yeah. Of course. He's not eating them proper though. Everybody knows that you eat Yorkshire puddings. They're what you eat at the beginning. Big, nice Yorkshire puddings on their own, not with anything else. A bit of gravy maybe, but that's what you do.
What a load of bollocks! You put a Yorkshire pudding on your roast dinner. You do not put onion in your gravy. That's bloody disgusting. Onion gravy.
I haven't mentioned onion gravy. I've said proper gravy, lad. Proper. Hey, bye, heck.
I'm just saying, you don't put onion. There's no such thing as an onion gravy in Yorkshire pudding. It's gravy, right? It goes with a roast dinner with your roasties. It doesn't go separately at the beginning, at the end. You don't put custard
that's
in
how
it or any of that shit.
It should be. That's how you have it. Yeah.
And I've told you now.
Those small little round things people.
I've told you now. There's only PG tips. There's no such thing as Yorkshire tea. That's a lot of shit.
Things that they stick in. Oh my! What are they doing? I don't know. Ross says, "Wee Bob Art." Yep, Wee Bob. I live just off Great Western Road. Aye. There you are. Seymour's my favourite A-Team episode was the one where they got poisoned with the milk. Oh.
I think I remember the episode he's talking about.
Tell you, Juggernaut is about a blackmail plot involving an ocean liner. Well, there we are. So we got the wrong impression there. 1974.
Yeah, I don't remember that film then.
And Wee Boba, okay, you're going too quick this week. So here are a few questions. We're not going too quick, are we? Okay, before I go, best Scottish movie you have seen. 2, best Scottish actor, not Mel Gibson. That was a nice joke there. And favourite Yorkshire movie.
What a shit.
I'll let him...
bog off. I mean, you just alienated me with all 3 fucking questions. So, I don't know. Best Scottish movie. What's that one? Greyfriars Bobby. Favorite Yorkshire movie. Kes. Is that a Yorkshire movie?
Kes, yeah.
Yeah, Kes. Best Scottish actor. I don't know. Wee Poo Pob McPlop. I don't know. I don't know. Fucking clue.
Sorry.
I don't know what bloody hell am I supposed to know? Is that McAvoy Scottish? What about McGregor? What's his name?
Ewan McGregor. I was going to say
McGregor.
him, but yeah.
There you are. So I've answered all three, and I look.
Yeah, I was going to say him, but okay. I'll say best Scottish
I said Greyfriars Bobby, Kes,
oh, crikey.
Wee Poo Pop McPlop, innit? There we are. So there's my three.
What about is Local Hero counted as Scottish?
I would have said so. You could have said Gregory's girl for all I know.
Yeah.
Could have said Gregory's girl for all I know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good. Yeah. I'll say Local Hero. Scottish actor. I'll say Alec Guinness. And
yeah, but he's an adopted Northerner, isn't he?
I would say Kaz. It's a great movie, great film.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to mention Kez, aren't they?
Yeah. And
you could have said The Railway Children, couldn't you?
Yeah, yes, you Railway Children, both. Yeah. Now you've said that, I'm thinking, I love The Railway Children so much. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I suppose I'll have to stay Kez, but yeah, I'd have put Railway Children because it's absolutely love The Railway Children.
Yeah, that was filmed north of Birmingham, wasn't it?
It was. The railway it was filmed on was the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway. Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah. Boring. Yeah. North.
No. What can you say? It's because have you noticed the cats? They've not much filming down where he is. I'll tell.
Oh, what?
He'll mention it. Here we go.
There's no such thing as Ealing Studios or anything like that down south, is there? I mean, bloody hell, the biggest film studios in England are all down south.
He was an extra in a zombie film. Come on, let's be fair.
I was.
Yeah, exactly. There you are.
Yeah, I'm with
it. Favorite movie that contains a Yorkshire pudding.
The meaning of life.
A Spider-Man reference, but he's not a Spider-Man or superhero movie. Oh, crikey. Favorite slow motion shot in a movie? Blooming heck.
Oh, well, the favorite slow motion shot in a movie is also the same as the fourth one, which is Meaning of Life. Because right at the beginning, just towards the end, you've got a load of naked women with no bras on running after a convict, and he chucks himself off of the White Cliffs of Dover and lands in a grave. And it's got all these slow motion boobs going up and down. That's got to be a favorite slow motion shot. And I believe there is a Yorkshire pudding on the table of A Meaning of Life with the fat bloke that basically explodes when he has a wafer thin mint.
Oh.
Favorite movie that has a Spider-Man reference, but is not a Spider-Man or superhero movie. Oh, do you know what? I don't know. Bound sure to be something like one of the parodies of Spider-Man or something, that they did. But that'd be a superhero movie, wouldn't it? So
I can't
think of that one. Five has got me flummoxed. Don't know.
Favorite movie that contains a Yorkshire pudding. I can only. I don't know whether it is, but it's in the same film again, which is the Protestant bloke complaining about the Catholics. It might be a Yorkshire pudding on there. He's eating. I know because he's looking out a window and
Why don't you just say they had Yorkshire puddings on the railway children in the local canteen in the railway station?
Oh,
I mean, nobody would know, would they? It's true, isn't it? Nobody would know whether they do Yorkshire pudding in the canteen of the railway children. You can just imagine people, couldn't you, watching 2 hours of it saying, "You lying bastard, I watched that film back. There was no Yorkshire pudding in
it." Yeah. Oh dear.
I mean, your favourite slow motion shot's got to be Chariots of Fire or something, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly. Or
the Bionic Man Returns or something.
Well, I think the. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. That I can't slow motion one. I don't know. I know. Is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Is that a slow motion ending? Perhaps it's not. Oh, they jump off a bit, isn't it? The cliff kind of thing that they're on. I think they. I don't know whether that is slow motion.
There's probably slow motion shots in Death Wish and all sorts of stuff. I don't
know. The Wild Bunch doesn't have that. That have quite a bit of slow motion in when they're doing all the shooting and that.
The Wild Bunch, is that another name for Braveheart? Because they were a bit wild, weren't they? Them Scottish bastards in that film.
He's offending you as a Scottish people. Sorry, if you're Scottish, what else can you do?
Look, I've been called a Scottish bastard.
People.
I've been called a Scottish bastard. I've been called a Southern bastard tonight. I've been called absolutely every word under the sun.
Oh dear. Anyhow, I'm sorry.
Favorite slow motion shot, Supergram.
Oh god. Right. Symbols. The 18 movie was awful.
Oh, that's really
a surprise.
That really was awful.
Was it? I didn't know they'd even made one.
It's got what's his name from Schindler's List.
Oh, you mean they did like a remake? Oh,
they made a film version of
remake.
It.
Oh, crikey!
And what's his name from Schindler's List? What's his name? Liam Neeson. Yeah, had Liam Neeson. He was Hannibal.
Oh, crikey! It sounds awful. It sounds absolutely awful.
Bloody awful film.
Yeah. Tony Hawk, as a good Scottish set film is Centurion 2010. Survivors of a picked attack try to get back below Adrian's Wall. Oh, that'll be like a Roman film. That sounds quite good. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's so good. No, it's so good. No buggers heard of it. I'm being nasty now.
Oh dear!
It's so good that 5 people went and saw it at the pictures when it came out.
What can you say? I don't know, but it sounds like a good historical film.
Where was the Sweeney shot? Down south. There you are.
Oh dear!
Where was the professional shot? Down south. Right. None of this northern shit.
He's so good. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Just reminding a few people out there. That's all.
Yeah, I think we get the shot. Yeah. Steve's given. I always found the A team a bit of a joke. Everyone's spraying bullets everywhere, and none is hit and killed, and no blood. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's how it. I suppose it's a cartoon, really.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I must admit, at 5:05 on a bloody Saturday, you can't exactly have people's arms being shot off and blood and everything going everywhere, can you?
You know.
But I will have to turn around and say, yeah, they keep blowing these trucks and they're going 15 foot in the air and they all walk away as if nothing's happened. They want to go along the M1 one day in England. Now the M25. Let's see whether that happens. Yeah, they wouldn't film the A team there, would they? Yeah.
Oh dear. Tony Hawk says they're Romans, by the way. Now I gathered that, but he might not have known.
Yeah, that's when the Romans fled away from Hadrian's Wall because they said they weren't going to protect the north anymore.
Yeah.
And basically, the whole wall basically came crumbling down because no bugger restored it anymore.
He's going to say, "What did Romans ever do for us?" That's what he's going to say next. No. Yorkshire tea is superb. Their biscuit brew is my fave. Southerners wouldn't understand. That's the Steve's game.
Well, that's a bollocky shit. That's all I got to say about it.
You tell him. Oh dear.
That just about sums up Steve's gaming. Yeah.
Ross says, recently bought an original poster of Future World. It's framed and on my wall.
Brilliant film.
Pretty cool.
Well, obviously I like Westworld best, but Future World's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know what's bad about Future World, really. It was more of the same, and it looked very much like they filmed it in some sort of like, I don't know, some factory plant somewhere. Where Westworld, at least you saw all of the worlds, like Medieval World and Westworld and all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah. Future
World had too much of the we're filming in a big factory somewhere like General Foods or something. All you saw was pipes and everybody where they were building the robots and that. There was hardly anything.
Yeah, I've not seen that one for years. Westworld I've seen quite a few times. I haven't seen Future World as much. I've seen that once. Oh, he's off.
Hang on.
Is he going to show us a Steelbook again?
No.
Oh. By somewhere else.
No, it's just to show what I'm talking about. It's that's just there. Look, Future World.
Yeah.
So your Brenner was in it again.
Yeah, of course, I remember that. Yeah.
But again, it was just like, we'll give you $1 million, and if you could be in it for 2 seconds, it'll be all right type thing.
Yeah. Oh.
It's quite a cheap film to get hold of. I haven't got a steelbook of it because I don't think there is one.
Yeah.
There is of Westworld. It's a classic.
Oh, Westworld.
It's a sci-fi classic, but
yeah. Oh, Westworld's always mentioned. Yeah.
But I just wanted to show I do watch good films. You know what I mean? I believe that one was filmed in Scotland. Anyway, carry on.
Oh, there you are. Just drop that in.
Not really. Not really.
Sean Connery for Scottish actor, says Tony. There you are.
Yeah, what's he doing playing bloody English people, bastard? Anyway, go on.
Is that a Chinese
Scottish
guy? Oh dear.
That's the best line of the night.
Oh dear.
That's the best line of the night.
I wasn't meaning Sean Connery laugh out. I mean, he's the one that Del mentioned, just to clarify.
He was talking about Sean Connery. He's a Chinese bastard.
Delboy's reference on Tank Girl has been out. it's being out by Eureka,
Ah,
Delboy.
well, I've got no reason why it's 28 quid then. Bloody hell, Eureka shouldn't be bringing it out for 28 quid. Criterion releases, you see, are always expensive, aren't they? You'd have a sort of reason for it to be 28 quid, but Eureka, nah.
No.
But I know one thing, I wouldn't be buying it for 28 quid, Steve. I'll tell you that much.
Tony says, something a bit different for a Yorkshire film. Tread Softly Stranger with George Baker, Diana Dawes, Patrick Allen again, filmed in Rotherham. Two brothers vie for the attention of Diana Dawes, leading to robbery and worse.
Wasn't it?
It's the kind of film I'd enjoy, actually.
That was the film that was supposed to project Diana Dawes to stardom, wasn't it? It was a robbery.
Oh, right.
And
yes. Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah, it's one that is shown quite a bit. It's been, I think it's had quite last maybe year or so.
Where was Diana Dawes born again? Sorry,
I don't know. But
down south. Yeah. You can talk about it being in Rotherham all you like, but basically, most of the actors that are in that probably from down south. Believe it or not. Anyway, just thought I'd mention it. Just because they only filmed it up north because they just got the electric.
Oh dear.
That week.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I'll tell you what, have a word with James Mason. He might put you right.
James Mason.
Yeah.
I can't say anything bad about James Mason because he's in North by Northwest, so shut up.
Yeah, well, exactly. So don't say anything bad about James Mason. I'm sure I've seen Ian in one of the Wurzel videos. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You were lead singer in the Country Life butter adverts, weren't you? It's country life, it's English too. Down by the deli and the deli back to you if you haven't any. In, have a word with your wife and spread it on your toast in the morning.
That's all you need to do the accent. It's an easy accent. It is, boy.
That sounded like Captain Birdseye. Oh yeah, you are him.
Oh, not him. Oh God, Captain Birdseye.
You're only him at the weekends, aren't you?
Yes. Wee Bob, it's okay. You can move on. My Aggies plushie is getting neglected due to you guys keeping me up past my bedtime.
Scotland's an hour forward, isn't it, from us?
Del, you're rubbish with Scottish people. There you are.
I love everybody, but I especially like the Scottish people. I love them.
He's a big fan, isn't he? Big fan.
I am a big fan of Scottish people. It's only them bloody Leeds bastards that I can't stand.
Thought they were from Somerset. Yeah, that's what do you call it? Them combined harvesters. I'm sure Billy's gran eats some Yorkshire pudding in Billy Liar. Yeah, I'm sure she does.
That's another one of them Southern films, isn't it, Billy Liar?
The Wild Bunch finale shootout is partially in slow motion. Crazy number of kills there. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, I knew my memory wasn't.
Yeah, but it's not a spot on boobs bouncing up and down in slow motion in the meaning of Monty Python's meaning of life.
Boobs, yeah. There you are.
Gratuitous boobs going up.
But
and down.
I can see the gratuitous boob shots. Yeah. Gerard Butler is a good Scottish actor. There, Steve Moulton.
Now I'll tell you what. There's all things wrong with that statement. For a start, it's got Gerard, it's got Butler in it, and it's got good in it.
How to offend people.
Honestly, have you seen Olympus Has Fallen? England Has Fallen. The only thing he's been good in is that that man film. The one where Children of Men or something. That's the only bloody Gerard Butler film that I'll watch all the way through.
Steve's gaming. My wife said there's a Yorkshire pudding in the Harry Potter films. Well, thank you. Yeah,
prove us wrong, everybody. Go and watch 8 bloody films of Harry Potter and prove us that there is a Yorkshire pudding somewhere in it.
You have to watch all them films.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Somewhere in all 26 films of Carry On, there's a Yorkshire pudding in it. All right, go and watch the 26 films now. Go on, bugger off.
Look out for the Yorkshire.
Watch out for the Yorkshire pudding in James Bond film.
Yeah.
I've forgotten which one it is, but just go and watch the lot. You'll find one.
And Billy Connolly and his dad, Sean Connery. There we are. Another similar to Centurion is The Eagle, 2011, with Channing Tatum and Jamie Bell. Another Roman film. Ross.
It says I'm stuck for words.
I'm stuck for words. Ian stuck for words.
Ian Stock for words.
Yeah. Good film. Ross, shut up, Del. There you see.
because Ross said shut up, I'm gonna shut up now. So you'll have to talk for everybody now.
Tony says I have Future World on the watch pile. Now there's a surprise. Yeah, there is a lot. I know your watch pile is extremely large. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you my copy if you want. I've proved I've got it.
Yeah, they did. Fair enough. Yeah. Laugh out loud, Ross. Seymour's favorite slow motion shot in a movie when Blade comes on screen in Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
But there you are. Sai guy says, "Hi guys, sorry I'm late. I've been to Scream Unscreen at Odeon, and I've just watched Terrifier 3, and all I can say is that it's a fucking gore fest." Oh, wow!
Remember what I said. Remember what I said at the beginning that the French have put a ban on it.
Oh yes, the Terrifier 3.
And because we're taking the piss out of everybody's site, what do you mean? Apologies for being late. Where were you last week, you bastard? Didn't see you at all. What's going on there? Hey? Sorry, by the way, we're all just having jokes tonight. So we're not meaning anything. Right? We're just taking the piss out of it.
Oh,
yes, you're quite right, Si. I'm looking forward to Terrifier 3, and I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that there was a news article that said that the French have put a ban that they haven't used in 20 years on Terrifier 3 because of the shocking gore sequences, and all of the producers and the director of the film have turned around and said this is really going to damage our film, and we don't know where they're coming from because everybody knows that our films has got a tongue-in-cheek part to it. And all I said to that was, what a stupid article, because all you've done there is just turn everybody into saying, I'm going to go and watch that film now.
Yeah.
Because if you put a ban on anything, about 50,000 more people go and see it.
Exactly.
Than originally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Could you be thinking of Yield to the Night for the Diana Dawes film? She's in prison after killing her boyfriend. It was a couple of years earlier, 1956. I think it was based on the Ruth Ellis case.
I think
you might be right there.
Yeah, the one I think I was thinking of, and like I say, remember, I'm not very good at Diana Dawes films because apart from when she was in Hammer horror films and she was in a Prince Charming bloody music video with Adam Ant, I don't really know too much about her. But
she was in Hammer House of Horror.
It was something. Yeah, she was in Hammer House of Horror.
Yeah.
She, the one I was thinking of was where she was dating somebody from a factory, and she was being told to do a crime, and that's the one I was thinking of. So if that's Yield of the Night, you're quite right. I don't know.
Yeah. Ruth Ellis. That's
But I must admit, Diana Dawes. One of the films that's always mentioned is this film which was supposed to bring her into the stratosphere in America, and it never happened. And I'm pretty sure it was one of her early black and white films where she was a beautiful looking, stunning model. You know what I mean? Not how we looked at her in the 80s, and at the end of her life. And she was always playing some gangster's mole.
Yeah.
She
never made it, did she, in America, in Hollywood?
Yeah. I mean, she's in Steptoe and Son, the film version of Steptoe and Son.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Well, the poster is different from your Steelbook. Yeah.
I haven't shown the Steelbook.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean my future world? My future world.
Yeah, future world. Tony Hawk, I enjoyed White House London Down. With Gerard Butler. Mindless, breakneck entertainment.
I don't know what it is. I just can't watch those films. They do my head in.
Oh yeah, here it says it. That's it. It's the I haven't. Yeah, you sent me some of the. I haven't watched them yet. I have to watch them.
I can't watch those.
Olympus Has Fallen.
I can watch 300 and all of that sort of stuff. Gerard Butler as a centurion with a great big massive sword in his hand and all of that. And I can watch a dystopian future where there's the one pregnant woman left in the whole of the world and all of that sort of stuff. But you asked me to watch Olympus Has Fallen, I'm going, fuck that right off. I just can't watch it. And I think it is mostly down to him. I can't watch it. I just can't take him seriously with a gun in his hand.
Well, I'll be watching them anyhow. But
because
I've never seen them before.
Some buggers sent you about 6,000 films, haven't they? And we're going to
I'll make up my mind.
We'll be hearing about that for the next 6 months. So go on.
Probably, if you wait a bit longer, you might, yeah. Simmos, what made me laugh about the A-Team was the bad stuntman they used, especially for Mr. T. You could tell it was a white guy with a painted face with a Mohican stuck on his head. God, that must have looked.
Oh, it's honestly, it's an atrocious film. Really is. Anybody who says that there's a good thing to say about that film, other than the font they used on the closing credits, has got it all wrong. That's the only good thing. They used Times New Roman as the font on the closing credits.
Oh dear. Wee Baba, okay, proper bedtime. Been great to listen along. It's 22:34, so you can get the audio sync sorted at some point. Haggis plush, here I come.
Well, Haggis plushie, and that's 10:34 in northern numbers. If you wanted to know,
I'm just
looking. That's not the year.
Dear me, what can you say?
He's not sending something from the future in the 23rd century.
Oh, dear.
Jesus Christ!
And we've got Ross saying, also have Logan's Run poster.
Class film. Class film. Class film, Ross. You've got some class stuff there.
Oh yeah. Before it's just give me a time to always plug Delboy's channel.
Oh, for goodness!
Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I've put the link in the description, so please go over to his channel and subscribe. And the reason I said that is because he's done a review of Logan's Run.
Oh, I did, yeah.
And so that was the link. So if you want to see his reviews, and he also does his wonderful blog, then go over to his channel and watch it. It's grand. That's all I'm going to say.
Can I just say something? Everybody in the room, right? To everybody in the room, you're all wonderful people. I can't believe how much fun I have every Wednesday. Come in here and taking the piss out of Ian and all of you guys and getting away with it. Just about. No, seriously. I have so much fun, and I know that we all get things wrong sometimes and all that sort of stuff. But I tell you what, I get an education coming here. I learn so much about horror films and what's out, and it's a full education for me. And I like the fact that we talk mostly about the films, not some of the stuff around it. Like where we bought it from and whether it's 109 minutes or 108 minutes and all of that sort of stuff. So I want to thank you all really for A, if you have subscribed to me, B, coming along and supporting Ian, because Ian deserves absolutely every subscribe and like that you could ever get, and just for being here and chatting about stuff that we all love. That's all I got to say about it all, really.
That's what it's all about. Everybody just having a good time.
I just have a right old blast here. I look forward. I mention it in my blog every week. I say Wednesday's one of the days I look forward to. It cheers me up at a time where a lot of crap's going on in my life at the moment. And it's nice to have something to always look forward to. Do you see? Wednesday's definitely what that.
Well, I'm glad. I think everybody's. It's just great. Everybody enjoys doing what we do.
And I just want to say something. Muckman's just come into the room. Muckman, I've done your video of Starquake on the Spectrum, just so you know, because he's just come back from Madrid.
Oh,
he's just come back from Madrid, so he probably doesn't know. But I've done your Starquake video, so you can thank me later, you bastard. Right. Right. He's up north and all, bastard.
And we've got Tony saying, I dare not mention Olympus London as fallen DVDs. Yes, where they are now.
I'll tell you what. I would watch Gerard Butler in Leeds Has Fallen. I'd watch that. Not this bloody London Has Fallen. I'd watch Leeds Has Fallen. The railway station in Leeds Has Fallen, or something like that. I'd watch that.
And we'll be watching it soon. It's on my list as I'm getting through them. So, yeah. And Del live
the Scottish people. Scottish power.
Yes.
No, actually, I can't say Scottish power because that's advertising, isn't it? For the electricity board.
Tony says, I think you're right, Del. Tread Softly, Stranger is based around a factory heist.
Yeah, that's the one I think I remember.
That's the one.
Right.
Yeah, Diner Dawes. Yeah. Steve's going, Del, get that DVD open and watched. It's too good just to sit there wrapped.
Yeah, but I've got it as a Blu-ray digital file. That's why I don't need to. But yeah, you're quite right. I need to open it up and make sure it works.
It does though. Well, anyhow,
but I've got so many of the.
Yeah,
I'll tell you the one thing I'm really behind on, ladies and gentlemen, because I will call you ladies and gentlemen loosely, right? Because you don't know where the gentlemen are here. Is that I've got so many films to open that I haven't got the plastic sleeves to put them in when I've actually opened them up, you see. So I need to buy more of those plastic sleeves and then open them all up and catalogue them and all of that. So I will get round to doing that. And that's when I'm going to be doing more capsule reviews.
And just imagine what's in that garage. I say it every week. There must be stacks, and you need to get yourself some of these plastic covers. Loads of them. Get in that garage and get them open.
I've got about 60 left of those plastic
Yeah.
covers.
Yeah,
And I need to get about another 600 more before I can do it.
yeah, about 6,000 probably more.
Yeah.
All in that blooming garage. Get in that garage.
There'd be even more if I knew the postcode of McMahon Movies, I tell you.
And Sai says, I can't remember why I didn't tune in last week. That's old age for you.
Oh, honestly, Si,
yeah.
that's it gets to us all.
Yeah. We forget.
Now.
At least we did remember to come on and do this, this live. We haven't quite got there yet. Oh dear. Hey, it's Muckman Movies. Hey, good evening, gentlemen. Just got back from Madrid. All right, jet setting around, eh?
Is that right? Madrid. No, Madrid. In other words, get rid of the mad ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Madrid.
Tony says, I saw the latest Tygon releases this week. Curse of the Crimson Altar, yeah, and Doomwatch. Yeah, Doomwatch. Preferred Doomwatch. It's more of a low-key sci-fi thriller, yeah. Is that directly based on the BBC?
I think it is, isn't it?
One as well, which was a great series, as I remember.
Doomwatch is great. I like
Doomwatch. Yeah. For its time, it was pretty...
I like Doomwatch and I like Survivors as well.
Survivors! What a series! I think there's 3 seasons in them of that. Yeah. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm just glued to Survivors.
I think me and Steve could talk about Survivors a lot.
Survivors is just great. Absolutely love it. What can you not like about Survivors? What a series! It really is. Right. So yeah, I've seen those releases. Curse of the Crimson Altar as well.
I like Doomwatch, but that was more about an agency, wasn't it? That was talking about environmental things. Really, wasn't it? I mean,
have you got that film? Is it out on? It's not out on Steelbook. Doomwatch.
No, I don't think it's on the Steelbook at all. I might be wrong though.
Yeah.
Remember, I didn't start collecting sort of like Steelbooks in earnest until about.
Yeah, it probably is. This was These were new releases, very recent releases. Which the Tygon have been releasing.
Yeah, Tygon don't do Steelbooks. They do slipcover. They do these lovely art slipcover.
Yeah, very nice looking editions. But in relation to Terrifier 3, people walked out, really. It was pretty much a full cinema at the start. At the end, it was less than half full. It's a very niche film for a niche audience. I find that really interesting.
Well, I do because I mean, at the end of the day, he's up north, and half the people left the cinema when they paid full whack to watch the film.
Well, you stay to the end no matter how bad.
I thought no matter what the film was, they'll watch to the end because they ain't going to miss a penny, are they? If they've just forked out money to go and see the film. No, being serious for a minute. That's very entertaining. Sort of like eye-opening when you consider what I was saying earlier, when they said it's very, very gory, and they've put a 20-year-old ban in France on it because of the gore.
Yeah.
If everybody left because of the gore, that's an eye-opener.
Yeah, I'm surprised that if this has been happening, that the mainstream sort of media hasn't grabbed. This is a good story for them to grab onto.
Oh, yeah.
You can imagine, is this film so bad that people are walking out?
Yeah.
You
can imagine it, can't you? We're just talking to the people that have just left the cinema because we've just found out that half the people have left the cinema up here in Manchester, in Newcastle. Can we just ask you, Mr. Pooplop, was Terrifier 3 as gory as what they said? No, we sat next to Cy Robson and he farted, so we all left.
Oh God! Oh dear! Oh dear! What can you say?
That was half the cinema that left.
That was cleared after the cinema. Oh dear! What can you say? Oh dear me! Oh well. Yes. um, Tony says, "Evening, Muckman," and then Frank Older says, "Just ordered 2 Blu-rays. Demon Seed and Shawshank Redemption. £14 for both. eBay. Fantastic.
Bargain.
I've got both films. I love them." What can
Did
you say?
I mean, at the end of the day, I would have probably have said that Shawshank Redemption would have been worth a 4K if you could have got it. It's a magnificent picture. It's a gorgeous film. It has just been released 4K, but the Blu-ray is bound sure to be as good a picture quality, you know. But it all depends. I think we've talked about this. I think you've just bought yourself a Blu-ray player, haven't you? And
Right, yes,
and a 1080p. I think you've bought a 1080p
yeah,
screen, so that makes perfect sense if you've bought the
great
Blu-ray.
releases, yeah.
But
Demon
Shawshank
Seed
Redemption,
is interesting.
you yourself can't decide,
Yeah.
can you, on whether Shawshank or Green Mile is your favorite, isn't it? I said
Yeah.
Shawshank.
Yeah,
I
I
said
think-
Shawshank. I think because it's a bit more down to earth. It's not. It hasn't got that supernatural thing about it. You know, where he blows everybody's evil out of them with this.
So
flies
I find that
out.
bit quite. I don't think it's so difficult to choose. I find it very difficult, really, to choose between them. Really, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yes, Shawshank Redemption, but then I think of The Green Mile, and I think, damn, what a good film that is.
Well, it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's very poignant.
It's so difficult.
It's very poignant when it gets to the prisoner that's got Bojangles, the little mouse.
Yeah.
You know, when that happens, you know, and the way that he got killed as well.
Yeah.
That particular prisoner, it was that all of that whole section there is incredible character, you know, character acting.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks makes a really good prison warden, if you see what I mean.
He's very good. Yeah. He has that right level of having sort of sympathy, but also being authority figure as well. He's got both. He's able to do that really well, I think.
Yeah, they had a documentary on the other day, and I missed out what the figure was, but they turned around and said, if you were to write down how many billions Tom Hanks has made for the studios, it's not funny. I mean, even stuff like the Da Vinci Code and some of the stuff.
There's loads of films.
But you know, I mean, it is amazing. Ever since Splash, I mean, you can sort of chart his career from Splash onwards. Really.
Yeah.
I think the One Red Shoe and all of that is a little less stuff to watch, but Big and Splash and all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
So of the Demon Seed, I remember when it came out, it was considered quite controversial at the time because they were all saying Julie Christie was being raped by a machine, which I suppose is effectively what happens. But it was quite controversial at the time. I've watched it. I think last year I watched it. I enjoyed it and think there's a lot of good things, but it's not as good as I thought it was when I first watched it. I watched it.
Yeah, that's that 80s horror. That's that 80s horror film, isn't it?
Yeah, when I watched it again, I didn't think it was quite as good. So it's an enjoyable film. It is a good film, but I think when I first watched it all those years ago, I loved it a lot more than I do now. I can see, you know. I don't know. It just didn't quite. It's good films. I like Julie Christie. I tend to like anything she's in. Absolutely wonderful actress. She made such a variety of films. But anyhow, I'm going off by Christie. But that film, it's. I think it was on. I think it still might be available. Is it on the HMV premium label?
Yeah, it's probably where he got the 2 for 14.
Yeah.
It's probably where he got the 2 for 14 quid from.
Yeah, but it's a good film. But obviously, Shawshank Redemption is the classic, I suppose, that we call it.
Yeah.
It is a good film.
Made no money whatsoever when it came out of the cinema, and did a shitload when it came out on video.
Yeah. It's interesting that it just at the time it just got no love at all, did it? Really,
no traction at all.
And now it's always mentioned in classic films.
Oh yeah,
already.
Christ.
Right. Muckman Movies picked up the Day of the Beast Blu-ray and a Spanish poster of the Jess Franco version of Dracula, starring Christopher Lee and Klaus Kinski. Yeah,
That's that new 70s rendition of Dracula, isn't it? That everybody's
yeah. I think I've got that.
Yeah, you bought it, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, somebody sent it you, the miserable bastard.
Yeah, I have had it sent to me, yeah.
Should have remembered that.
I know somebody sent it to me, yeah.
Yeah, Tony. Here we go. You know.
It may have been to, it may have been somebody else, or somebody else has sent me film.
Oh, some other bastard sent you a film. Yeah, go on anyway, carry on.
Yeah, but not for a while. But he did send me a lot. Somebody sent me a lot of films at one time. But now it's Tony, and yeah. So Tony says, never seen Demon Seed, but I always enjoy Julie Christie. Yeah, Julie Christie is always worth enjoying.
Yeah, what is he, your brother or something, Tony? That's exactly what you just bloody well said. Anyway, carry
on. Let's see what I would say. Muckman, The Day of the Beast was filmed in Madrid, so it was nice to pick that up there. It's not had a UK Blu-ray release yet.
No,
that's great.
You know we were discussing this the other day. You know, films that have not had a Blu-ray release yet, and all of that. Like, I said to Pete, I turned around and said to him that I'd love The Edge, the film The Edge with Anthony Hopkins. Yeah. I'd love that to have a Blu-ray release. You can only get it in the States, and then it's out of print. Got a fantastic Jerry Goldsmith score, I tell you, The Edge.
Yeah.
It's got Alec Baldwin in it.
Yeah.
Elle Macpherson. Yeah, brilliant film.
Yeah. But, you know, it may get a Blu-ray release. I don't know.
Doubtful now.
I don't know. You never know. Muckman said, evening, Tony. Tony says, I thought the Jess Franco Dracula was okay for one of his films. Yeah, I wouldn't rave over it myself. It's just okay. It's okay as a film. It's not the best. Never seen it, but the poster is fantastic, so I had to buy it. It's a vintage poster, not a brand new one. Oh,
cool. Is it a quad poster?
Could be. Del slagging, roasting me, laughing out loud. There you are. You see.
I'm not at all. I love everybody.
He honestly, he loves Scottish people. He does.
I love everyone.
Yeah, honestly.
Honestly, I'll eat haggis. I love Scottish people.
Well, man, I'll give you Starquake video watch after this, Del. Got day off tomorrow, so I can have a lie in.
Oh, it was just to let you know in case you weren't aware. That was all. But I said to you that I'd do the video, and I did the video, and now I move on to do. And now I move on to do Steve's next game. Steve's given me a game to do tomorrow, so I've got to do that. And I'm going to do a film review this week.
Oh, wow. Oh,
it's 2 weeks since the last one, so I'll be doing another film review this week.
Right.
I'll tell you what, I started off with 251 subscribers, and I'm down to 248 today. Going backwards again.
Oh, well, we need to get up. You need to get them up.
I've put more content out than I've ever done in my life,
and you get like. Oh dear. Oh. Tony says, Muckman, I think it's just had a release on 4K. I just have the DV. It's worth a watch. All right. Okay. Looking forward to watching it, Del. I love playing Starquake back in day.
Yeah, you're going to see it played really badly when you get to watch mine. Jesus Christ.
Think I'll buy it, Tony. Now I've bought the poster. Yeah, why not? Ross, maybe it's because I'm Scottish, Del.
No,
Yeah,
it's
so you
not.
want
Jesus, Roz, I did a special video for you today just to prove how much I love you.
Oh, dear. I took my girlfriend to Madrid for her birthday, Ian. It's a great city. Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah.
So where did you take the wife last year?
God, not to, oh no. He did say that. Oh dear. Oh dear. What can I say? Oh dear. Um too much as
Had
too
to be said, didn't it? I
yeah.
mean, every time somebody said girlfriend, you go, yeah, so where was the wife when you took the girlfriend
Too
over
much
there?
has two new leads for the film. Ian Bannerman and Judy Geeson. But
Geeson,
several
yeah.
of the series cast appear in supporting roles. I have the BBC series on DVD, which is enjoyable too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the BBC series was brilliant.
it was. Yeah. Stephen Moles is a joke for you. Two Tunuks caramel logs standing in the arrivals lounge at Glasgow Airport. One turns to the other and says, "How long you been away for?"
Here's a joke for you: two tunics, caramel logs standing in the arrivals lounge. Tunics.
It's those lovely chocolate tunics. They're lovely, but yeah. How long have you been away for? Oh dear. Oh
How long you been
yeah.
away for? How long
Oh,
have you been away for?
yeah, I know. Yes, I have 1080p, not 4K. That's that what you were saying, Frank.
Yeah, I gave him. I wonder whether he took up my advice. I said you got to get Planet of the Apes on Blu-ray. Oh
Yeah,
my god, you got to get Planet of the Apes. The first Planet
yeah,
of the Apes on Blu-ray. My god.
yeah,
If ever there was a film that you said that you wanted to go, a sci-fi film that you wanted to watch on Blu-ray, there's one.
yeah. It's a great box set.
Oh,
Great
that as
box
well,
set.
yeah, because it'll be cheap
Yeah,
one to get as well on
yeah,
Blu-ray. You
yeah.
know,
It's
Everybody, you know.
as much as I don't mind the new series of Planet of the Apes. They were good. You can't beat the original. I always said that. You just
Like I
can't.
say, cheap as chips to get
Yeah,
it. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
McMahon says Stephen laughing there. McMahon movies laughing. Um, man walks into a Glasgow pub and asks for a pint of lager with a dash of lime. We don't do cocktails, replies the barman. Yes,
I like that one.
I get that. Yeah, lager and lime, blooming heck. What was that? That wasn't
Yeah,
a proper drink, was it?
yeah,
Blooming
bloody
heck.
hell. Guinness
Who
and
the
black.
hell would drink lager and lime?
I've heard
Bloody
that.
hell.
I've heard that joke with the Irish because it's Guinness and black
Oh,
that do cocktails.
oh dear. Lager and lime. Bloody hell.
Guinness and black currant. Ugh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at Insomnioid, where a similar thing occurs to Judy Geeson as Julie Christa in Demon Seed, except by an alien. But watch the trailer, and it looks so bad I didn't bother.
Inseminoid is a hard watch because I have to turn around and say it's got like a Roger Corman weird ending, you know, where she gives birth to an alien at the end. And
I think that's on an indicator. I've not bought it. I've seen it. I'm sure it's an indicator one actually, but it's not one I've bought. Yes, it's a quad poster, Del. There you are.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
Yeah, Del, do a top 25 horror films video. My video is having a second surge of viewers. It's up to 19k views. Blooming heck, that's great. And my subscriber count has increased as a result. Well done.
I don't know whether I could do it. I don't know if I could do a top 25 horror film.
Do you know what I was thinking of
I'll
doing?
I'll tell you what. Your 19,000 viewers, I might get 19. That's about 19,000. I'll tell you that's about right.
I wanted to do. I've been on about it for a few weeks in my mind, and I've tried, and I still having problems to do a Hammer one. I'd love to do a Hammer one, but it's so difficult.
Yeah.
10, a top 10, but 25. That is a good way of cheating, really. Sticking it out to 25. Just finish work. Yeah. As we mentioned, Julie Christie, can you name your top 3 films of hers, Tony York?
I bet both of us have got Dr. Zhivago in our top 3. Would you say Dr. Zhivago would be in your top 3? Would it be in your top 3 of Julie Christie?
There are a couple of others.
She was in Troy, weren't she?
Was she? Troy.
She was in a Harry Potter film, weren't she?
Oh, yes. Yeah, she is in one of Harry Potter's films.
I'm just trying to think. There's Demon Seed. Yeah, I can't think of too many. I remember seeing Dr. Zhivago because I like David Lean films.
Yeah, no, it's a good film.
I mean,
very good film.
And I remember her being in Troy because I saw that film and was so disappointed with Troy. But I do remember her being in that film.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the subject matter, because it's about Romans and all of that sort of stuff. That's why. And Harry Potter is because I've seen the Harry Potter films a couple of times, so I know she's
right.
Demon Seed for obvious reasons because it's science fiction. I don't know any. Don't know many more.
Well, you've got 3, haven't you? There, you've done more than 3, haven't you?
Well, yeah, but I'm just trying to think of good films.
You thought of any more?
I
know.
Heaven Can Wait.
Yeah.
I can't think of any others.
Okay.
The reason I know Heaven Can Wait is because it's about an angel, isn't it? It's about going a bloke who goes up to heaven and says, "No, I'm not ready to come back up." And Heaven Can Wait.
I would put, for me, because it's one of my all-time favorite films, is Don't Look Now. What a film with Donald Sutherland in. A lot of people say it's slow. I've heard people really criticize it. It's a beautiful film.
Oh, what was that film with Warren Beatty that she was in? It was something like Macabre and Mrs.
Yeah, that one. I was thinking of do that one. Yeah, it's a Western. She's good in.
I remember because I've seen that just recently because it was a Western. Yeah. It was on Legends, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know any of us now. I'm now clutching at straws.
Yeah. Well, I've definitely put Don't Look Now. I absolutely love that one. There is a later one which I remember seeing years ago at the sort of club that I was in. It's more of an art house kind of film, but it was very good. It's called Heat and Dust. And it's set in, she's traveling abroad in India and going all over the place in Asia. It's a beautiful film. It looked absolutely fantastic, and she's pregnant, I think, as well in it, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's a beautiful film. So I remember for that one.
Did you say she was looking for an Indian restaurant? She only has to go down the Leeds High Street, doesn't she? She'll find one there, won't she?
What else?
I know what you're going to say. She said she hasn't made enough Northern films. That's why you can't
No.
think of any.
Oh, crikey! What can you say? I actually like her, and I'm in Far from the Maddening Crowd because we did the book at school, and Thomas Hardy book. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I think people think it's a bit long and slow, but I think I really like her in that.
I'd be very surprised, if Dr. Zhivago's not. I mean, it's got to be a most quintessential.
Yeah,
film,
it's
hasn't it?
obviously that is a film, but she's got, if you looked at her career, she's got a big, massive career of
Oh, I
films,
bet.
a lot of films, a lot of
I mean,
films.
Dr. Zhivago is my least favorite David Lean film, but
Yeah,
but when you talk about least favorite David Lean film, it's like
yeah,
I mean, every film was a bloody classic from
yeah,
David Lean.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Uh,
my dad would never say a bad word to say about David Lean.
no, no, I can imagine. Yeah, so I picked three films. She's somebody who I don't know. She's got sort of a very rich career. All through '60s,
Yeah.
'70s, '80s, carried on doing right up to Harry Potter films. I mean,
Yeah.
what a career! What a
Like I said,
career!
it's just such a sparkling career.
Yeah,
Every role I think is more varied than the last.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think she
Right.
was ever typecast.
No, no. Which is a great an actress that can do that says a lot. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mukbang movies. None of my other content has got anywhere close. Usually around 120 views. So it baffles me how my top 25 horror has got up to 19K. What horror is a popular subject? It really
Well, I
is.
was just thinking that the most popular videos must be horror films in October.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for
Yes.
horror in October because it's
Yeah.
Halloween season, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're quite right. Do anything to do with a horror film. Say you've just bought yourself I don't know, any Hammer horror film that's just come out this week, and it's probably bound sure to get a 1,000 views or whatever it is, because everybody knows it came out this week and everybody's doing a video of it. So.
But 19K is brilliant. That is absolutely superb.
I've never had any more than 600 views is my highest rating. 600.
I had one. I reviewed the Butterfly Effect.
That's a brilliant film.
I got nearly 6,000. That was I think my biggest one I ever got.
6,000. See, 600 is my top rated video.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing well with that.
I think it was about but I couldn't believe that anybody 6,000 people had actually watched me do that. I thought, crikey.
I'm small fry, you see.
No, but most of mine, I average probably. I'm under 100 probably. Occasionally it gets higher, probably just under 100. That's it. I'm static. I don't get massive ones. Just one of those things. But I'm quite happy. I'm happy with
Shut up, you tart. You've got 1,000 subs.
Yeah, but you have to work at it. You have to keep at it. That's why.
What do you mean? Now you said that as if I don't keep at it. What you want to do is you want to say that in a nice way, so it doesn't sound like you're having to go at me.
No, I know you. I don't honestly, and we've talked about this seriously before. I don't understand why you don't have more subscribers.
It's all right.
I know we get down to the blog business, but I really don't. I mean, you've got a great
honest. I tell you what, you've done more than most people to try and promote me, and for that I'm eternally grateful. And to be quite honest, I'm having the ball of my time. Coming here on a Wednesday and doing
that's
a chat.
Good. I'm really happy about that. That's good.
As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
if I didn't have this Wednesday, I'd be a miserable bastard.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I got to look forward to other than my blog on a Sunday. That's all I'd have.
Well, and that's why I think Wednesday's a good day, because it's in the middle of the week, and if you're feeling, it's a good time to pick up. And I was pleased to see you on Pete's chats as well. I'm glad he
actually, it's weird. On a Saturday around about 6 o'clock, he goes, "Do you want to come on tonight?" I'm going, bloody hell.
Yeah, fantastic. I think that's great.
Right. 3 hours before he's going to go live, it usually is. And I go,
yeah, you don't get much preparation, but that's good. It means you don't have to think about it. You just go on. And
like I said, we had a whale of a time because Jamie was on, and it was all about the Joker.
Yeah, that's right.
And I hadn't seen the film.
Yeah.
So I could just sit back and let them talk about it.
Yeah.
I see both sides. I was the one in the middle that was going, I see both sides.
Yeah.
Pete and Josh were sort of on a similar vein, saying they
They're
didn't like it. They were sort of along the line of, we don't like it, but I can understand why people would.
Yeah, which is
Jamie came from the point of view of it's a masterpiece, and he came away wanting to go and see it again to try and see if he could understand it better.
Yeah.
And I was there going, hence in it, so can't have an opinion. So it was brilliant, really. It was a great night.
Yeah. And then we've got evening Jim Jam, Muckman, and Tony says, for me, it's 3. Far from the Maddening Crowd. He mentioned that. The Go Between. Yeah, I mentioned that. And Billy Liar, of course. Yeah.
I don't really like Billy Liar, so.
Yeah.
Far from the Maddening Crowd. Brilliant.
Yeah, I love Far from the Maddening Crowd. Go Between is good. It's a good period piece, Go Between. It gets that period just before the First World War. It's the country is kind of in a strange kind of state as it was just before First World War. It captures that perfectly, because everything would change, as we know, after First World War. The country finally, it really radically changed. It brought out so much. And that was like the world before. Fantastic film. And then Muckman, I'd like to see Maddening Crowd, but for some reason I never buy it. Oh. Tony says, Muckman, it's on Studio Canal Vintage Classics, and the DV is somewhere quite near to here. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. I know. I nearly bought it in last 2 for £15 sale, but bought something else instead. Okay. That's the problem when they have such an interesting range. There is a lot of good ones in that sale.
I was looking at my collection the other day, and I was watching the directors. And they were talking about Walter Matthau.
Oh yeah, you're a big fan, aren't you?
Which I'm a big fan of, with Jack Lemmon. And it said they made 10 films together, 11 if you count the one that Jack Lemmon directed for Walter Matthau. But they were talking about the Sunshine Boys and all of these sort of things. And I was going, do you know what? I haven't got some of these films. And I had a look, and I was going, do you know what? I've only got the DVD of Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. I haven't got the Blu-ray. And I was looking, I was going, bastard, look how much that is. Out of print, all this sort of stuff. And of course, I've got the Bad News Bears as DVD and I haven't got that as Blu-ray. And I was going, wow, the amount of stuff that I've only got on DVD and not Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a moment. Just carry.
Okay. I'll carry on anyhow with this. Let's have a look. Tony says, for some reason, I didn't enjoy McCabe and Mrs. Miller much. Only seen it once. Maybe it would improve on a rewatch. Yeah, it's one that I've seen mentioned quite a bit. It might do. It may well improve. Yeah, it's a Western. I know. I say, Muckman movies. Julie Christie top 3. Don't Look Now, of course. I talk about that one forever. Finding Neverland. Really? Finding Neverland. And the McCabe and Mrs. Miller. Oh wow, you rate that one as well. That's interesting. Yeah. Don't Look Now. I could just. It's one of those films. I don't know how many times I've seen it. I've seen it loads of times. I just love it. And seeing Vienna. Vienna is like a character in the film as well. It's got this eerie atmosphere as well, and it's just such a wonderful film. It's one I could just sit and watch and watch and watch. And yeah, I've got that. I've got it. I've even got it on a steelbook, which is unusual for me to actually have a steelbook. But Don't Look Now is it's one of my all-time favorite films. I put it up there with my with Dead Zone. It's one of those films that I just think, oh, I've got to watch that. I've watched it quite a lot, and it never disappoints me at all. I could just watch it and watch it. And I've heard people say, oh, it's slow. And, there's only the ending and blah, blah, blah. But it's a beautiful film. The way it builds up and the way it's so atmospheric. The way Vienna is, and those two ladies that we see, and everything about it, I just absolutely love. There's some great scenes in it, and what more can I say? It's just a great film. And Sai says, wasn't Julie Christie in Shampoo with Warren Beatty? Yes, she was. Yeah. God, Shampoo. I haven't seen that for years and years. God, it's a 70s film, isn't it? Yeah, that I bet that's very much of its time now. I'd love to. That's well worth having a look at again sometime. That particular era. Yeah, Shampoo. It was a big, massive film at the time. I remember. And Muckman says, I love McCabe and Mrs. Miller, Tony. It's such a bleak Western in a similar tone to Gabuki's The Great Silence. Yeah, that's how it sounds pretty good if it's bleak. You can't beat a bleakness. Well, not all the time, but yeah, sounds good. Yes, she was Sai, and Tony says, yes, it's years since I saw it. It's definitely worth a rewatch. I have Shampoo Criterion release, but still not watched it. Oh, well, it might be worth having a watch, digging it out. Fahrenheit 451 is one of hers that's not mentioned much. Oh yeah, I've got that one. Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch that. Yeah, I've got that to watch. It's on.
I came back because I heard the word steelbook.
A very bleak dystopian vision of the future. Yeah, that's to watch very soon. Hopefully, that was there to watch. I bet he's got it. Fahrenheit 451. What do you think?
I got it.
Yeah, there you are. I knew you would. What was your best 90s film?
Bloody hell.
What a question.
I find out those sort of questions really hard. I mean,
I do.
7 and you've got The Game and you've got...
There's loads probably of films, I don't know. There's so many.
And I'll mention one and then I'll go, oh, why didn't I mention that?
Yeah, that's the problem.
I find those ones incredibly difficult. In fact, I'm not even going to probably try. You're looking on your phone.
Yeah, I am. I'm there because I can't think of.
I'm just going to do my same answer, which is, how can you name the best 90s film with so
Yeah,
many genres? With so many genres.
Yeah, and there'll always be some. It's like, I mean, I love all the Friday the 13th stuff, so I could start picking out ones from 90s and Friday the 13th. There's just far too many.
I'd have a problem naming the top 90s film for science fiction, or 90s film for comedy, or 90s film for
look at this
action drama.
And you would probably agree that it's hard to pick some. Look here, we've got, this is horror films. Misery,
Brilliant.
90s. Funny Games, brilliant film.
Yeah.
I love The Craft. Not everybody loves The Craft.
Yeah,
I love good. The Craft. There's Sleepy Hollow, the version of that they did. Johnny Depp. There's Agoraphobia.
There's Edward Scissorhands.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Silence of the Lambs. Of course, Silence of the Lambs.
I mean, I think Batman was 89, so you can't say
Cape
that.
Fear. It's a good film.
That's the remake. Cape Fear, yeah.
The Devil's Advocate. That's with Pacino, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't count that though.
Let's have a look. I actually, there's a film here I've not seen but's mentioned. It's Jacob's Ladder. Have you seen Jacob's Ladder? Is it good? That it's supposed to be quite trippy.
No, that's a good film. Size just said Fight Club. Yeah.
Sixth Sense. Oh, there's a film that I love as well. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Absolutely love that film.
Yeah, I wouldn't put the Sixth
film that is.
Sixth Sense to me is a one-time
Green Mile. I know you say, I've heard people go about Sixth Sense, say, oh, once you've seen it once, that's it.
To me, it's a one-time watch. It's not for everybody.
Not for me. I love I don't know. It's a film that I can watch and watch. Yeah. It doesn't make any difference.
I did say though in my blog, it's in my opinion only.
Yeah. I
did turn around and say that the only time that I think people will watch it other than a one-time watch is the people that like the journey. Because if you know the answer, then what's the point? Now I know the answer to Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to get at is it's not the shock ending that makes that film the best. It's what people remember. It's good all the way through. The Sixth Sense, though, is once you know what the whole film is all about, then you can't not know.
Yeah,
true. I find it very difficult for me to watch.
For me, then, knowing what I know, I'm realizing, oh yeah, I can see now this and that, and the film to me just stands there. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite of his films. It's one of my favorite of his films because I'm one of these people who actually like him as a director. There's so many other good films that he's done, but I can see why that is pointed out because it was the first one where he came to prominence, really, with that. But yeah. Anyhow,
I think Goodfellas was 90s.
Yeah.
Casino was 90s, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Casino. Casino's a film that I've only over last year seen for the first time.
Yeah.
Wow, I am blown away by Casino. It's just such a good film.
This is why I'm saying, look, I couldn't do what is your best 90s
film. No, I think I agree with you.
You'd be here till 6 in the morning.
Yeah. But that was I love it. I mean, you must do as well, is when you discover something that perhaps you haven't seen before that people have talked about and wondered why. And then I saw Casino and thought, wow, I know why
There's,
people have talked about
let's
it.
see, there's Seven, there's Broken
Wonderful.
Arrow, there's Strange
There's
Days,
so many.
there's
Yeah.
Outbreak, there's Liar Liar, there's
There you are. You see, you go. It's all sorts. I mean, you could just carry on and on. But anyhow, thank you for the question. But it's
yeah.
like one film, or two films, even three films. It's impossible. It is. Stephen Moss. I watched a double bill on Saturday. The Frisco Kid, starring Harrison Ford and Gene Wilder, and the villain starring Kirk Douglas and Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's an interesting
I didn't know that. Kirk Douglas and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Wow.
It's not an instant one that you'd sort of, teaming them together.
You see, to me, the Frisco Kid rings a bell because of Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
It sounds like a character from Blazing Saddles.
Yes, yeah.
But I know he directed a number of films because he did the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Younger Brother.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah,
he did a load of films
Yeah.
that people don't remember and go, "Oh yeah, he did that, didn't he?" And all of that.
But that is interesting. Kirk Douglas and Schwarzenegger. Yeah, fascinating combination.
You've got to remember that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a 70s film, Pumping Iron. He was in a lot of films that he would have been bit parts in around. I mean, everybody thinks Schwarzenegger, they think late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Around for a lot more than that. Terminator made him a big name, but he was around doing stuff before all of that. So.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yes, I mean, I never knew that. That's what Tony said.
Kirk Douglas acted all the way up until 3 years before his death, and he only died.
Kirk Douglas lived quite a long life, didn't he?
He was 100.
He was making films.
He was 103 or 4.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the bloke who was in that one life died at 106. Oh, Jesus Christ. He must have lived a good life.
Certainly at that age, Tony, Tony, it was released in 1979. Not a bad Western. Oh, yeah. I see it has an alternative title, Cactus Jack. I've heard of that title mentioned. Yeah, we mentioned Cactus Jack.
Rings a bell.
Yeah. Tony is a parody of Western films. Blended with an homage to the Warner Brothers cartoon, Willie Coyote and the Roadrunner. Really?
Yeah, Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. That's probably why the Frisco Kid sounds like a character out of Blazing Saddles.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so, what would be your Walter Matthau top 3 films? For me, The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, Charlie Varick, and The Odd Couple. Wow, great selection of films.
I mean, Charlie Varick is a good film, but I'll probably put Sunshine Boys before Charlie Varick. The hard one, though. I mean, The Sunshine Boys is just one of those films where you've got Burns in it, haven't you? Two actors really acting their socks off to be two comedians that hate each other, haven't you? The Sunshine Boys. Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 is just the way to do a suspense action film. These, back then.
Yeah.
The Odd Couple. What can you say about a Billy Wilder film? I mean, my God, you could turn around and say The Fortune Cookie. Because they had I think they had Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau in The Fortune Cookie. That was the one where they first met and did a film, wasn't it? Because he was in bed with a broken foot and he says, "No, you we're going to sue him for millions." Billy Wilder knows how to make a comedy, but The Odd Couple was brilliant.
Oh yeah.
The Odd Couple 2 is a disappointment, but I mean, it's still a good film if you look at it. It's just it's like Beetlejuice. It was 20 years too late. They should have made that. They should have made The Odd Couple 2 within 10 years of the first one being out. I mean, that came out in 1998, The Odd Couple 2, and the first film came out in 1968.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 years between the two films. But you've got The Good News Bears, which is a great little family baseball film. I think he was in a Western, wasn't he, at the very beginning of his career with
Burt Lancaster. Kentuckian.
The Kentuckian, that's right. And he was in Hello Dolly, wasn't
he? Yeah.
For a musical. God, the man's been in.
Yeah, Kirk Douglas, Lonely and the Brave.
Yeah. But I'll take Charlie Varick out and put Sunshine Boys, but otherwise they're taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, The Odd Couple, store world classics. I mean, he was in JFK.
Yeah.
He was on the plane talking to I've forgotten what his name is now. Bloody hell. Who's in JFK? What's his name?
Costner. Kevin Costner.
JFK's so Walter Matthau's talking to Costner on a plane, talking about the zigzag bullet.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he's been in so many bit parts where he sort of like just took over.
I'm looking at some of his films he's done that I've never heard of. Like, there's a film in 1959. This must have been an early part of his career. Gangster Story. So is it probably a straight gangster film?
Yeah, it's because he played bad people in the first 10, 15 films of his career. Until he did a comedy, and then he did comedy roles.
Yeah.
So you'll see the first 10 films of his life are all bloody villains.
Yeah.
In fact, he was a villain in Alfred Hitchcock Presents when he was playing against Robert Vaughn.
Right.
He played against Robert Vaughn about being a mob boss. They had to kill each other.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of films. It's quite a career. So what would your top 3 be then? What would you?
I said taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 and
right.
Yeah. I think I might just. I mean, Charlie Varick is a brilliant film.
Yeah.
But I think I'd probably replace it with the Sunshine Boys.
Yeah.
Just because I really like George Burns.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Those two didn't like, what I'm saying is in the film, they're two comedians that hate each other.
Yes, that's right. I've seen that one.
And that means that they're playing off each other.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it, because each one is trying a snide comment against each other. You know what I mean? So it's funny that. Next question.
Well, I'll just say what mine are.
Yeah, but nobody cares.
I'm not as clued up as you
cares,
are.
Ian, so move on to the next one.
I would say The Odd Couple I really like The Odd Couple. I think it's just outstanding.
Who did the music to that?
And I think the one the Sunshine Boy is it's so good with George Burns in it. It's just so memorable that. And the other one would be that you sent me. I thought it was so lovely. The Grumpy Old Man.
Grumpy Old Man's brilliant.
I think that I would put that. I rate that really high. I'd say I put that. I really enjoyed that one. Anyhow, let's get on with next question. Top three Kirk Douglas films. Oh God.
Bloody hell, Spartacus. Jesus.
Yeah.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
As an early Disney film. Light at the End of the World.
What's that one? I've not heard of that one.
Oh, that's with Yul Brynner, where he's where they're trying to fight over a lighthouse.
Oh, that sounds good.
Dystopian future film. But I wouldn't say that was probably my top three, because I mean that one is not really a top three film.
No.
Kirk Douglas. Christ.
God, there's so many.
I mean, the obvious one is Spartacus.
Yeah.
Oh, the Vikings. So Spartacus, the Vikings.
Yeah.
Ooh. There's one where he plays a boxer in his early career. Not what that one's called.
Oh, there's a war film he's in that I remember. The Heroes of Telemark. So my dad, I know these films because my dad, any war film, my dad was taking me to see them.
Did that have sound?
Yeah, 1965.
All right, I was just checking because I know what you're. I know.
Wow, he was in a film with Lauren Bacall. Young Man with a Horn. Pardon me. That's what it's called. Yeah, it's good. Who's that one nowadays?
Anyway, have you got your top three? Because I mean, I've pretty much said mine.
Yeah, okay. I'll say Spartacus, because how can you not love Spartacus? It's such a great film.
I mean, the Vikings is brilliant, isn't it? I mean, he's got a glass.
Yeah, I'll say the Vikings as well.
He's got a glass eye. He's missing. You know.
Yeah, I think I'll say that one. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say. There's a lot of westerns. I'll say that one, that the Heroes of Telemark, the war film. Yeah, I'll say that one. I think of my dad, you see. Right, so we'll go on to the next question. I have to move these questions on. Stephen, sounds interesting. Ross, Ian, and Del, great stream together. Great together on a stream. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being with us. Muckman, my Kirk Douglas would be Spartacus, Ace in the Hole, and the Vikings. There we are.
Good. I mean, the soundtrack to the Vikings alone is brilliant. You know, it's got that horn.
And Si says, for me, the best 90s film is Fight Club.
Yeah, told you the Fight Club would be there.
I've not seen it. It's one film I haven't seen. But there we are.
Bit of a weird film, that one.
Yeah. Best 90s for me is The Shawshank Redemption, yeah.
Yeah, which we talked about.
It's always going to get a mention. The Fury would be my top three Kirk Douglas films, with the Vikings and Spartacus. Yeah, The Fury.
I mean, Kirk Douglas spent years trying to get the Vikings made. I know that. He didn't like the way the director was actually acted it. It was actually going with it at one point. Thought he was destroying his project.
Goodfellas is another great 90s film.
Casino.
Walter Matthau plays a dislikable character, co-starring with Kirk Douglas. Oh, say Kirk Douglas in Indian Fighter, 1955.
I didn't know that, but I do remember. He was going after a cowboy in a 60s film. And he was siding with the cowboy because he'd broken the law or something.
Yeah.
and it's one of those modern ones where he goes around in a vehicle while the cowboy's going around on a horse, which I thought was a bit weird.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of like turn of the century type thing, not an 18th century or a 19th century film. And I forgot what it is, but he's looking through binoculars looking for it. Was it? It could have been Kirk Douglas in that. It could be Indian Fighter.
Yeah, yeah. Then we've got Ross, the old Delboy. Oh, right. The old. Pacific Heights is a good film from the 1990s. It's an excellent film, Pacific Heights. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. I've just got DVD. I know it's not out on Blu-ray, but it is in Germany. Great shout, Tony. The Fury is great too, Stephen. Yeah. Muckman, Last Train from Gun Hill is a great Kirk Douglas Western.
He did a few, didn't he, Kirk Western? Yeah. Didn't he, Kirk
Douglas? Schindler's List is a great 90s film too. I mean, there's so many. It's just that's why you can't do all these. And one of my favorite Kirk Douglas movies is
Saturn Free with Farrah Fawcett Majors,
yeah,
and Harvey Keitel.
Yeah. Top 3 Kirk Douglas.
Light at the Edge of the World.
World 2, Spartacus, and Vikings. But so many.
That was what I'd said, wasn't it? Light at the Edge of the World, Spartacus, Vikings.
Yeah.
Light at the Edge of the World is a film with Yul Brynner in, and it's basically a dystopian future about them fighting over a lighthouse.
That sounds good. Yeah. Aside, the Villain was released as Cactus Jack in the UK. It also had Anne Margaret. God, she's appeared in a lot of films in it as well.
Oh, she was in
Anne Margaret. Oh,
she was in Grumpy Old Man.
I know. What a career she had. Yeah.
Didn't she start off with Elvis?
I think she did, she's going back. Yeah. Yeah. Muckman movies. Yeah. Paths of Glory. Yes. Another great Kirk Douglas film. Yeah. Paths of Glory. Wow. Is that the Kubrick one, isn't it? I think that's the Kubrick one. Yeah. Sleeping with the Enemy. Oh, yeah, love it. And White Single Female, a good 90s movies. Sleeping with the Enemies. Wow, what a film. It's absolutely wonderful film. Go on about that one, but I won't now. Hand That Rocks the Cradles. Yeah, I've talked to it. I love that
one.
Yeah, fantastic film. Walter Matthau is great in Bad News Bears.
I mentioned that one.
Was mentioned. A film that needs a Blu-ray release. Hider in the House, 1989, starring Gary Busey. All right. The Big Sky is a good Kirk Douglas Western set in the 1830s at an earlier period than most Westerns. He's traveling up the Missouri on a trading expedition. Yeah, actually, that's true. A lot of them, the 1830s is quite early, but definitely fought Civil War. What's this channel about, lads? That's Pimpy Sniper.
It's about 4 hours long.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. No, actually, no, we're all right. It's 3 hours 42 at the moment.
Yeah, so he said, "What's this channel about?" It's about 4 hours long.
The Big Sky sounds good, Tony. Yeah. It's another that's not too easy to get hold of. I have an oldish DVD. Muckman movies. Anyone seen The Fortune Cookie, starring Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon, and directed by Billy Wilder?
What did I say?
Yeah, and there you
Fortune Cookie, where Jack Lemmon is in the bed with a broken foot. Just, we're going to sue him for millions.
Steve Moss, one of my favorite movies from the 90s is the remake of The Vanishing. Oh, yeah, starring Jeff Bridges, Sandra Bullock, and Keith Sutherland. The Blu-ray was released on the Twilight Time label. Yeah, that film has come up before, hasn't it? Vanishing.
Oh, it's been mentioned
Yeah,
since Saturday on Friday. Sorry,
yeah,
on Pete's channel
yeah,
on Saturday, the Vanishing was being
yeah.
brought up left, right, and centre.
Symbol's expensive though, $130 on Amazon. Wow, what?
Yeah, stupid.
That is ridiculous. Oh, who's going to pay that? Go. A good Walter Matthau film to check out. Out to Sea.
Oh well, that's a film with Jack Lemmon. I think it's the one before their last film they ever did together.
Yeah,
it's where they play conmen on a cruise liner, and it's got the bloke who it's got Brent Spiner in it. He's the singer on the cruise ship that sings,
oh yeah, because he did sing,
cabaret.
didn't he? He croons away, does Brent Spiner?
Yeah.
Out
to Sea is an all right film, but apparently it's not well received at all.
No. The original The Vanishing is better. It's called Sporaloos. It's directed by the same director. Sporaloos. It's not some Scottish thing again, is it? Yeah. Does anyone remember Tough Guys with Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster?
I know that.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, what a combination! I love Burt Lancaster.
I remember that film got a slating when it came out.
Really? Wow. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Got a slating when it came out. No, or was it Clint Eastwood and it was two old actors, and they went, these two shouldn't be in the, they're too old for this or something.
Yeah.
It was almost like The Sting.
Right, yeah.
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Tough Guys though.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a late career Burt Lancaster film then.
Yeah.
That must be. Yeah. I don't know when he died, Burt Lancaster. It was in the 70s, wasn't it, I think? Local Hero, I know he was in that, isn't he?
I thought it was an 80s film, Tough Guys, but I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Oh. Just recently bought Dark Blue on Blu-ray, starring Kurt Russell. Good film, good actor.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell's a great actor.
On Laserdisc.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with Kurt Russell. He makes some great films. I've seen Tough Guys on TV a couple of times, Tony says. Simbo says, Cy Robson, yeah, I do, Cy. I have the DVD.
Yeah.
And Ross, this is our final comment here. Ooh. Sleeping with the Enemy is a great film, yeah. Forgot about that film. Going to watch this weekend. Well, yeah, great film. Hope you enjoy watching your films. And then we've got here, Muckman, Superloos is a film from the Netherlands, right?
Superloos.
Sorry, I can't say Sporloos.
I was just going Superloos. What's that? Where Superman goes into the toilet?
Toilets, yeah. Right. Tough Guys is 86. All right. Okay.
So Burt Lancaster, that means he must have died in the late 80s.
Yeah. Tony says, good night, all, and thanks. Well, thanks for joining us, Tony, as ever. Thank you.
Thanks Tony, you bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sending all those films so that I can hear about them for the next 6 months. Cheers. Appreciate it.
And Muckman says, good night, all. Good night. Thank you for joining us. Yes. And finally, we've got Cy saying, 99 guys. Thank you, Cy, for joining us. Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for everybody. There's 10 people at the moment watching, it says here. Thank you, everyone, and hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. And thank you, Delboy, for making it entertaining and making me laugh as usual.
Yeah, I hope nobody took it serious. My God, otherwise I'm dead.
Absolutely love it.
I think I'm dead.
So, do you want to say your farewells?
Oh, you know how I always do mine. I just go salute. Till next time. Thanks very much for joining.
and I'll say, I'll see thee again.